Right.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the August regular meeting to order. If we could get a roll call, please.
Allen. Here. Miller.
Here.
Shevitz. Here. Minders.
Here.
Reuter.
Here.
Manthi.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. If we could rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, jump into public comments. Kayla?
I just want to thank Bodie, Sidewalk, and just the little projects that you've been doing. Great. I also, some of you guys know me, some of you don't. I own a small business myself. I'm a hair and makeup artist. And I just wanted to say, I just wanted to kind of give you my perspective on the small business loan thing. I think it's a great idea. I just think there's a little bit of background that I would be concerned with. Where is the town replenishing the money year after year? And is there going to be a limit in which each business is allowed to take? Because if it was $25,000 per se, that money could go really quickly to one or two, and then it could be gone. So just as a small business owner, that's my kind of like little spiel on it. Like, how are we replenishing this money in the town's budget year after year? Like, if that is taken each year, where are we getting it back, or where are we fundraising to get it back, or what are we doing to bring that money back into the community? But other than that, I've enjoyed coming to the meetings, and I look forward to just hearing what's going on tonight.
And hopefully we can address some of those concerns, and because I know they're not alone. I think some of the trustees have raised that as well. So we'll definitely be getting into those issues in the discussion. Thank you for raising them and voicing your opinion. That's Tam here. Is it Tammy? Do you go by Tam?
I'm just here to hear about how we're gonna do the grant.
All right, sounds good. Betsy,
Nothing at this time, thank you.
thanks for coming. Been a while since I've seen you. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you, yes.
Allison?
Same thing.
All right, and Julie?
I just have a concern in regards to what was posted on Facebook by a board member. Due to the fact that I've had people in Carroll County and Ogle County ask me about it, because they felt it was threatening. And what was posted was by Guy Miller, which is Steve Miller. He put, "Well, noon has passed. The vandal that removed and threw away the tree protectors at the park has not returned them. So you will get a visit from the police, and if I have my say, you'll be banned from the park for at least a year and pay a large fine and have a criminal damage to property charge on your record that will follow you your whole life. Apparently, it is what you want, so you will get it." I do not feel that helps the village of Shannon for people trying to move in when we're getting threatened also by a trustee. Other people in other counties have even asked me about it. Then the next post he put up was regarding the tree protectors at the park. This time a community member removed several that were too tight around the tree trunks. I was unaware till now about this. This is perfectly acceptable, as a community member is very knowledgeable about trees, and I learned a lot from him. The video upon closer inspection shows a person pulling on a tree protector but not removing it. No big deal. Sorry about the mix-up. Overall, the kids have been fantastic at the park. They pick up after themselves, which saves lots of time and respect the equipment. In appreciation, Steve is gonna plan an event soon for the s'mores night or something on that order for the kids that they deserve. I see that the apology went out there, but I don't feel that the community should be threatened until you know the facts. Let law enforcement do their job if we're having vandalism at the park. Chief Lewis can do it. Wait until we get the facts before you put it out there on a community page. And people are reading that stuff out there on the community page. I hear about it from other people in the county. I've heard about it from Ogle County asking me about it that know me. What's going on in your village with this threat? I said, I have no idea because I didn't even know it was out there. I actually had to look it up because I don't have Facebook. I had to look it up, so that is a concern of mine. I don't know if there's an ordinance from way back when at all, even from maybe John McPherson, about a code of conduct for the village trustees, but something needs to be put in place because it's not making the village look good, and you're an elected official. We gotta make sure we're making the community look good.
I don't see it as a threat of any kind myself.
Really,
No, I don't.
you're threatening law on us, law enforcement
Threatening
on
they
us.
could be turned in and prosecuted for removing the,
But you're picking and choosing because then all of a sudden you're saying, oh, well, once I found out who it was,
yeah. I
it's
apologize
okay
for
now.
it.
So if a
I didn't say
kid,
it was okay to remove the tree protectors.
but since they explained it to you, you're saying it's okay now. What happens if
It's
a
not
kid,
okay for the public to remove anything from the trees. It's okay for me or Mr. Payette, which is basically a tree expert.
No, actually, the only person that's allowed to do that is Bodie or someone under Bodie's.
All right, we're not going to have this
The public
conversation
can't
now.
do that.
We're not going to have this conversation now.
Okay,
Julie,
so-
thank you for your
can I just say one more thing?
one more thing.
From my understanding from a previous meeting, it was stated that if somebody wanted to do something at the parks, it was supposed to be asked before the board or it was supposed to go through Bodie. That was my understanding from a previous meeting.
That's also includes tree protectors removal too.
Thank you, Julie.
Yep.
Last thing, we do have 2 online public comments for the first time, so I'm just going to read those into the record. Steve Rangel submitted, and I'm not going to read these word for word, they'll be submitted to the record word for word, but Steve messaged the village saying that he hopes that if we do touch water rates, we consider doing it by occupancy. We did have that survey that went out, or by giving seniors a discount. He believes that homes that use significantly less water should not pay as much as a family. So that was Steve's comment. Brittany Welch submitted a comment as well. And again, I'm not going to read this word for word, but ultimately she says that she's disappointed in the Shannon community page on Facebook. She says that she knows that at least 2 businesses skipped out on Shannon because of the negativity on that page. And she hopes that we all consider that that's public information, that potential business owners and residents look at that, and that we instead work together and spread positivity instead of negativity. Again, the whole comment will be submitted to the record, but just a reminder, people can submit public comments if they cannot come down here to the meeting themselves. Moving on to my remarks, July was actually a very quiet month on my end, not including continuing conversations, business owners, just residents who reached out about a novel issue or an issue for the first time. I only received 17 individual messages from 13 different residents. Again, those aren't ongoing conversations with business owners or trustees reaching out or anyone from that works for Shannon. Those are just individual messages from the community. So overall, a very quiet month. The website will be going down tomorrow for at least 48 hours as we transition to the .gov website, expecting the website to be up sometime this month, the new one. The response rate from the household surveys regarding occupancy, I had this on my remarks for last month, but I don't think I actually noted them. We are very bottom heavy. We had about a 50% response rate overall, 156 responses. We have about 312 residents that have water bills, 337 overall. 32.7% of people who responded are 1-person households. 41% are 2-person households. 7.7% are 3-person households, and 18.6% are 4 or more. So we're very bottom heavy. Just something to think about, that if the board does want to do something related to occupancy and water rates, it's going to be very hard to spread that out evenly, unfortunately. Lastly, I did have a meeting with Senator Chesney. That was a good meeting. He was very excited to hear from the village of Shannon, where he's from. Next month, the village will be hosting a small mayor's roundtable here in Shannon Village Hall I've invited all the municipalities here in Carroll County, other than Savannah, because they're a little bigger than us, as well as the surrounding municipalities. I'm hoping for 12 to 20 people to show up. Senator Chesney is sponsoring that event, so it'll be at no cost to the village to provide lunch and all that. So looking for a trustee to join me for that. I'll message you guys information. If everyone wants to come, we'll figure out a way to narrow it down, but I'm looking forward to that event. And that's all I have for my remarks. So we'll move on to the consent agenda.
What was the date on that again?
It's September 20th. So it is a Saturday. You're going to have to give up a few hours of your Saturday if you're interested in that, but looking forward to that event. In consent agenda, we have 3 meeting minutes and the financial report and the monthly bill payments. When someone makes a motion. Yeah.
That's a bad proposition. Perry, the load of salt we just talked about was $2,900. What would that be? Chemicals.
That was chemicals. The Hawkins is the chlorine,
Okay.
the ethanol chloride and orthophosphate. I think it's Midwest salt.
So it hasn't been paid yet.
I think it was last month.
Okay, I believe you.
Trying to think of when I got that.
Look.
I'm not sure, was it?
Oh, gotta take a check with me. What the?
Just salt's a little bit more expensive than that, I believe.
No salt last time.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do I have a first for the consent agenda?
No, first.
Oh, second.
Roll call.
Allen. Miller.
Yep.
Shedwitz.
Yes.
Minders.
Yes.
Reuter.
Yes.
Manthey.
Yes.
All right, reports, zoning reports.
Zoning has been slow. I've had 2 permits. One was for solar and then the other one was a building permit. They didn't get one. Chief and I have talked. Have you talked to him about?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't, file for a building permit. It was free, I think. Did you find him?
No, I have not yet,
Okay.
but he's been told that it's the first time and things have changed so that we would work through it.
Yeah.
But from now on, if he doesn't get a building permit, he'll be charged, starting out, $25 fine for failure to obtain a building permit. We know that the changes, we have to work with the people and make sure that.
He hasn't turned it in yet, so he said Wednesday he was hoping to.
Yeah, and this is just a reminder for people watching online and for the minutes, just because the permit fees are zero, the permits still exist. You still have to get approval for building and fences and chickens and everything else that we put to zero. So make sure that's done, because the only avenue we have once you build a fence or build a building is to fine you. And if it's not in compliance, we're going to have to tear it down. So it's very important to still get the
That was a
permit.
concern that it wasn't in compliance, but yeah, he was very apologetic.
And it's new. I'm going to make an announcement on Facebook about a number of ordinances, and I'll include the fact that permits still exist. They're just free. Village maintenance.
Finishing up some sidewalks, obviously, and finished that job. South Stanton project that will stay in gravel for until next year. Not a lot of base there, so we tore it out, did 18 inches. Should be a lot better.
The same, wow.
Yeah,
Has to go through a frost though. I know a lot of people will probably be upset about that. That's just the best way to do it for, you know, what we have, chip and seal. Obviously, we can't do 8 inches of asphalt. That's about it.
do we have a tentative date for that?
It'll be after next spring sometime when the frost is out of the ground. So no.
Anything else?
Nope.
Water and sewer?
Not a whole lot going on right now with water and sewer. I am having Brian Hildebrand come rewire a pump that needs to be replaced back into the SCADA system, so it still works like it's supposed to. He's coming tomorrow, I believe. And then I plan on flushing fire hydrants Monday, Tuesday next week. So if anybody has slight discolored water, they'll just need to flush for a couple minutes and it should clean itself out.
Great. SPD?
One of the things I've been working on, Mr. Reuter's concern about speeding up and down Walnut Street. I sat over there a few days for a couple, 2-3 hours at a time in different spots. I know it really looks like they're flying, especially when they're coming down the hill. But the most I've had is like 31 coming down that hill. I haven't had anybody over that, and I don't sit there at the same times just so that people don't get accustomed to me being there. But I am working on it, trying to get people to slow down. You and I talked about it.
The coverage.
Oh, coverage. I do have 2 part-time officers now. Gerard Zinsu, which lives here in town. He works full-time for Polo PD. They're currently understaffed over there, so he's trying to give us a couple days a week when he can. And I have Officer Metzger from Mount Carroll that had just returned from being off due to an incident that took place in Savannah. And he's going to try to put in a day or 2 a week when he can. It's not that they don't want to work here, because they do. They like it here, but their other jobs are just really demanding right now that they be there. And of course, their full-time jobs take precedence over their part-time jobs. So that's been a lot of help to me. Another thing that I did this month, just to make everybody aware of it, was I had a young man in town that I've never had problems with. And he started to become a problem. So I sat down with his parents and talked to them. And basically the things that he was telling me were issues of financial at home. So I asked him what he was interested in. And he said he really wanted to play golf in school. So I went out and bought him a set of golf clubs so that he can play. That's not for a pat on the back or anything like that. I just want everybody to be aware of it, that I try to do these things for the young ones that can't get to where. So we have a contract between him and I now that he has to keep his grades up. He has to behave at home, and he has to do 4 years of golf in high school. So he's really changed his attitude now, and I haven't had to deal with him in over 2.5 weeks. So
Great news, Chief. Thank you.
that's what we're trying to do.
Safety? Everyone safe?
0 accidents.
All right. Okay, then we'll move on to business, starting with the small business loan program. In your packet, I have, or in your folder rather, I included a few things. The first one, or I guess I have it in your second, is just explaining tax increment financing districts, business development districts, and using the general fund. I sent this out to the trustees if you did get an idea. But generally, I just wanted to stress that when you hear other municipalities saying that they have a business development district and they're giving out grants from that, or a tax increment financing district, that's just taxes in another form. And business development districts, you declare an area business development district, and then you add a new tax on that area, and that pays for development in that district. When you're talking about a tax increment financing district, what you do is you freeze the property values of buildings inside that district and any new value that those buildings, so say a building is $100,000, if next year it's $130,000, that $30,000, instead of paying out to the school or the fire department and the village, that would all go to the village instead. So you take away from other municipalities to, the idea is to put that money back into the community. That's my understanding of those, Kip. Are those both correct?
The TIF district, it's more or less, it can issue bonds, and then supposedly any improvements in value as a result of the improvements from the bonds, the money from that is supposed to come back to pay off those bonds. So it doesn't really come back to the village per se. It goes back to a separate taxing district, which is a TIF district, just like a business development. So it's actually, you have to create a second type of or an additional taxing district. I'm not sure if those are, I don't think a TIF district requires a referendum, but I know there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through, but I'm not sure about
There's a lot of
this.
administrative and legal costs that'd be associated with each one.
Right.
The big thing I wanted to stress is that when you see, and I sent out what Polo does, which is a business development district, just to get an idea what their application is for their grant program, it's still just taxes. It's just a different way of calling it. So I wanted to stress that this idea that we're taking tax money to promote development in Shannon, just because we're not calling it a business development district or a TIF district, doesn't mean this is outside of the ordinary. The other document is just some, it essentially just memorializes what we talked about last time. I think the big thing in my mind when thinking about this grant loan match program is that it will be personalized to each person that applies. It'll look a lot different if someone applies for $3,000 in total as opposed to $20,000. In each loan, we can put back clawback provisions, or if they default on the FSB loan, we automatically claw back the grant portion of it. It could be that they pay for whatever they are doing up front and they get a grant, a disbursement of the grant at year 1, year 2, year 3, or at 6 months, 1 year. The big thing I think is that we get to decide exactly how each grant and loan looks like for each particular business. Say an existing business asks for $3,000, that's going to look wholly different from a new business coming in asking for $20,000. And the big thing is we can change it for every single grant or loan that is applied for. So I guess I'm looking for discussion on this, the issues that you guys think about. The big thing is this is a grant program on the village's standpoint that's just being paired up with a loan program from the bank to give these businesses more funds access to. That loan is going to be at a low interest rate with no collateral required. So it's definitely at favorable terms, but the village's portion is a grant. There's no money clawback. And I think it should be important to note that there's no requirement that we do this year to year. I have this listed as the pilot year, year 1. And here's the thing, if no one applies for it, the money stays in our account. It's not like it disappears. And if we set aside $25,000 this year and we only see one application that we think is worth the money, that's the only application we approve. So I think it's pretty wide open. Essentially, I'm asking the village to approve $25,000 to set aside, not that will necessarily use all those funds, but that it's available for businesses to apply for.
And we're having the bank completely administer all of it.
They will administer their loan. They'll do the financial background checks. The grant provision of what we do,
We're approving or they're approving?
we have final say. So we'll get the initial, what I have modeled here is we'll get the initial application. We'll give it provisional approval. It'll then go to the bank. We'll do financial background checks on this individual. They'll approve it on their end, and they'll be sent back to us for final approval. So that's how I have it written up. That doesn't mean that's how we have to do it, but I think that's what makes sense to me. Ultimately, it comes to us. They'll be doing all the heavy background checks or whatever's necessary on their end, but
And depending on how we want each one tailored and written, who's writing the terms of the agreement?
well, that's up to the board, I guess. I think as long as you tell me what you want in each one or what you would expect to see, whether that's clawback provisions if they leave Shannon, clawback provisions if they default on the loan, clawback provisions if they leave Shannon after X number of years, that will be in every loan. I could bring every single application to the board. I don't expect we'll have that many. I think that's something we could bring up every single time, or I could present to you what I think would be fair every month, and you guys have that just be the starting point conversation, or you can improve it and change it. I guess it's just what checks you want.
I mean, every loan would almost have to be the same, would it not?
No.
I mean, as far as the provisions. They're all
Well,
gonna say if you leave, you owe us the money. They all gonna, I mean,
it's just the number of years you want. Again, if the loan amount is
Oh,
$3,000
yeah.
and how you disperse it. So do we want all loans that they have to pay the upfront cost? Let's say they want $20,000 to help purchase a building and do renovations. That in my mind makes sense to disperse the grant portion at the 6 month, the 1 year, the 18 month, where if someone's seeking $3,000 overall, so $1,500 grant, doesn't make much sense to give them $500 every 6 months. That one might be
that's
more
not the
upfront.
money for paying for a building. How will stretching out over 18 months be of any help?
Well, I guess that's what I'm asking for. In my mind, they still have, I doubt that $20,000 would cover the whole thing, but getting loan disbursements will help make those payments.
I mean, if you borrow the money, you're sure money.
Borrow it from the bank or?
Yeah, if you borrow from the bank, you get the money day one.
And I have in here where village inspects whatever it is you're doing, provisions like that.
Understand, I'm not against your program. I think it's a good idea.
Right. The big thing is it's hard to say this is what we will do on every single grant application. Because if someone's $2,000 for new equipment or to help a hired hand, that looks incredibly different from someone saying, I need 20 grand to help purchase a building or 40 grand. In my mind, the number one thing, and which I have written here, the number one priority is new businesses, new brick and mortar businesses in Shannon. That's what I want to see. I have no problem, and I encourage existing businesses to apply, especially if they want to improve the facade of their building or improve operations or expand operations. But the key part of this program is we want new businesses in Shannon.
As far as the bank's concerned, it's gonna be one loan application. I mean, you're not gonna have a different loan application for a small business as you would an individual or you would a large business. So it's all gonna be one application. That's why I'm saying.
Right.
We need to come up with some.
But I think what Ryan's saying is that you can tailor the terms to what makes sense for each one, so that it doesn't have to be one size fits all for depending on what they're asking for and what the requirements are, that we have the ability to tailor it to the individual's needs and what we want to see out of that. As far as requirements go, I don't think that there needs to be just one blank. Like, I understand the bank's perspective where you have one loan application for a loan, everyone, regardless of if you're asking for $3,000 or $50,000, fills out the same application. But when we're making a determination on if we want to invest into that business, then there can be different sets of parameters.
What I'm saying is, if we're going to have someone sign on the dotted line and say, we'll stay here for a year, we'll stay here for 5 years, that stuff's gotta be the same. You can't expect
Because Joe and Fred are gonna talk, and
you
Fred's gonna be
can't,
like,
you
I got
can't
1 year
expect
and you have to be.
two
with
different
me."
businesses to apply by two different sets of rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understand
I
what you're
mean,
saying.
you can't expect a hairdresser and the local truck driver to have two separate sets of rules. You want them to both stay in town, those rules gotta be set up ahead of time,
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
and they've gotta be across.
And those rules could be by dollar amount, not by business. Say if you're requesting 5,000 grants, maybe we require a
And
1
that's
year
much
clawback
better way of
provision.
saying it. Because if you say it's by individual, you're opening yourself up to horrible discrimination of, well, he doesn't like me, so they're not gonna give me the money.
And I guess, again, in my mind, I see a grant application coming in. We look at the business, we look at how much they're requesting, and we think this sounds like it would help Shannon. We approve that provisionally, it goes to the bank, they get approved. And then we come back, once they're fully approved, we give them the terms at that point, and they can decide whether to take those terms or not. That's kind of how I see that 3-step process panning out.
I don't disagree with that. I guess my original question still stands is who's writing these for the individuals? Are we as a board funding, like to have Kip write these up, the agreements, or That's
I mean,
my question.
I do what I do for ordinances. I would write them myself and I'll have Kip review them. So you get 2 lawyers' eyes on each contract. Save the village some money. I mean, Kip is our lawyer, so he has to approve the language, but that's what I would do. That's how I see it. Or if the board wants Kip to write them fully, I have no problem with that either, but
And I didn't know
I
what
tried to save
discussions we
money.
had with the bank, if that was part of the.
I think on their end,
or-
they're just approving the number.
Got it.
What the loan application looks like, what the terms are is irrelevant, I guess, to the bank. Because that's all on our end.
Well, if I understand this, one general term of this is gonna be that a grant is tied to a loan to make sure that the
Yes.
Correct.
person has skin in the
They will-
game, that they're personally obligating themselves to borrow money and are actually coming up with some money out of their pocket rather than, I decided I want to sell soap on the side of the street, so give me some free money and I'll see if it works or not.
Yeah.
It's a great business. plan.
Is that all natural soap or?
Please let's stop before they go somewhere else.
That was better than my period.
The application, as far as the loan is concerned, is not the same.
Oh, yeah. The application, the first step would all look the same because we're not tying any terms to the actual
You
application
will have all
itself.
the information from the bank. You won't be asking them to fill out another application for us.
Well, I don't know now from the bank's perspective, how shareable loan applications or things like that are without probably some kind of specific release from the borrower. Would I be right there?
We would probably just say the loan's been approved. And if the loan's approved, you know that everything was fine. We can't give you any more information than that.
So I guess if you would want some of that, you maybe could ask for it separately, but I know there's regulations that prevent banks from giving out certain customer information and.
So how will you base your decision off of terms if
I mean,
you have no information on?
Well, I think the terms would be on the dollar amount they're requesting and what they want as a business. If they're looking for a whole new building, I don't think it has anything to do with the specifics they send to the bank. The bank's going to tell us they're good to go or they're not. If we get the green light, then
I think we're talking about two different things. I think we're talking about a financial background check by the bank and a business plan. We're interested in the business plan, what they're wanting to do.
I didn't say
with the
that,
money.
but he's right.
yeah,
The bank's interested in whether or not they can pay the money back.
yeah.
Well, and part of that
And part of that
is
has
based
to
on
do
a
with
business plan.
That, they'll look at that as well. So,
But if they're not, if the bank.
But we
is
don't
a-
need their social security numbers. We
No.
don't need like that.
and
What if the bank can't share their business plan?
well, they'll submit the business plan to us as well.
Okay.
I mean, they can't ask for money if they're only going to submit it to the bank.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's part of the grant application. If you have a business plan, it should be submitted to us. Just because it's part of the financial application that they can't disclose doesn't mean we can't also request that
You
documentation.
can completely.
I think a business plan would be something you ought to require.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
About it, just
Yeah.
as a
Yes.
matter of
Yes.
course.
Not a flower that grows in every garden.
What was it, Harriet's Hemp Shack?
Yeah. I mean,
I have no problem earmarking the $25,000. That's easily done or undone. You're gonna have to come up with the levels of what you want to do as far as applications approval or disapproval.
Yeah, and
I mean, I'll make the motion to earmark the $25,000 for the grant application.
Before we move forward with that, can I just make one more comment?
make as many as you want.
I just want to make sure that all of us understand that by doing this program, I think it's a great thing, but I want to caution us on expecting great results or immediate great results. That this
Oh, I
is
agree.
a long-term gain for the village. That just because we issue 1-2 of these this year doesn't mean that it's going to pay dividends in the first 12 months. When we're taking a look at this for the future, we're looking at this for.
Yeah, this is a long.
Look at the
This is a long.
This is a long, definite long game. I agree.
I mean, personally, I would love for a restaurant to come in and say, we want 40 grand overall, 2020, sign a 3-year, we'll stay in Shannon. I mean, personally, again, that's not just my decision, but I would love a restaurant who will say, we are going to be open every single day. We'll stay here for 3 years, or you can get your grant money back. I would approve that personally on the spot. I mean, I would, if we get one business who is going to stay in Shannon, promote business growth, promote some sort of community where people can be at with office hours, I see that as a win. I agree. Money wise, the dividends aren't going to come in 12 months, but it's a long-term thing.
Correct. Some money will come in 12 months in taxes. But
Correct.
That will be negligible to the
Yeah.
size of loan.
But it's also about building the long-term appeal of
Yes.
wanting people to move here
Yes.
and eventually needing the space to have a subdivision and growing the town. And
Yep.
It's a step in the direction of a very long view on it.
One
I just wanna
piece,
make sure
one piece of a
that
large
we're all
puzzle.
It's a step
aware
in the right direction
Yeah.
of positivity. How about that?
that this isn't
This isn't going to fix anything.
This is not the panacea. This is one piece of a large puzzle.
correct.
I'll second it.
You want to say something, Dan?
If this is approved tonight, we are planning, Labor Day weekend for the parade to have some
Literature?
advertising. We're working on that tomorrow, or we're working on it sometime this week, but we're going to start getting the word out about this program.
The new website will have a dedicated page as well. That's just, it'll be there as well. So
Thank you.
the bank's excited about that. I know that it's just, again, it's, the village has not been proactive in the past generation. And I think this is a step to show what, to show what we are attempting to do. So we have a first and second.
Mhm.
Roll call.
Reinders,
Yes.
Reuter,
Yes.
Manthe,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Miller,
Yep.
Shevitz.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Change the order on us.
That's
I
all right.
did.
Hey, wake up.
All right. Well, thank you, Bank. We'll be in touch. I look forward to it.
You do too.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, lady.
Have a good night. Thank you.
See ya.
Good morning.
Okay.
Sounds like a threat.
All right.
Chase him down.
To it.
Chase him down. Here's him. Local official.
The next
Big problem.
The next two things on the agenda kind of go hand in hand, which is a no parking ordinance on North Stanton, which Bodie can explain why he thinks that's necessary, and also the tree cutting, because this will greatly affect one business if we do something like this. And I should note, there might be some development that this might not be immediate that we need to solve tonight, per se. If we just come to a discussion whether we want to continue this, I think it'd be great to have Mr. Rathie come down and speak with us. I know Bodie's talked to him and at length. I know Kyle's talked to him at length. I tried to reach out to him and I wasn't able to contact him today. But why don't you just go ahead, Bodie, and tell us the problem?
So obviously you can see some, like it's like a mat, it's starting to, all that tack is just ripping off, and that top 2 inches of that asphalt's ripping off. And I believe that it's because obviously all the heavy truck traffic is moving over because Rhett's truck is kind of out, so everyone is shifting over to the east side of the road. So if we can just get his truck out of the way, what we had talked, Kyle and I had talked about, I don't think I took pictures of the trees to the north. Okay, you got them right there, those 2 trees there, and then bringing in some gravel for him and moving that stop sign up just a little bit more, so he has a place to park his vehicle. It's kind of just a way that everybody wins.
Right. Can you tell us how much this is costing us to fix this right away here?
I think we've got about, I can't remember off the top of my head, it was like $13,000 to $16,000 we have in this stretch of road.
How many times have we repaved this, or twice already, and we need the third?
And it will be doing it, yeah, we'll be doing it a 3rd time. I have talked to Helms. Dan and Matt are supposed to be getting a hold of me. I gotta talk to them. They're gonna be redoing it. I think they're gonna try to redo it again this year. Cost, we have to talk about that yet, but I did talk to Mark Helm himself. He came and looked, and it sounds like there's nothing is in writing yet. I don't have anything signed. I don't have anything in my email, but it sounds like we should be all right. They should take care of it, but I haven't got that in writing yet, so.
And just to clarify, I suppose it's the trucks from Eastland Feed are having to move over onto this right of way, and it's not meant for that weight load.
Whether it's not meant for that,
I was
or
just
just
saying.
they didn't put enough tack down, or
They even said when they were here, when we met with them, that the blacktops coming apart.
right. It's
the
like a mat,
blacktop's
it's like a
fault.
mat that's moving.
Hmm.
It's just that there's top two. They do two pours or two lifts, they call it. You know, it's 2 inches, and then they put tack down, and then they put another 2 inches,
Mhm.
and it's just that top 2 inches isn't.
The glue
isn't
didn't
seal-
hold
It
it.
isn't. Yeah, it's not holding, so it's just ripping.
When was that last redone?
Last
Summer.
yeah,
Was it last summer?
September? I think.
Mhm.
Is there maybe any grant money available? Because I think Lanark, or I think I remember Lanark maybe got some grant money to improve the street from like about the Shell station to LK. Did it help deal with the truck traffic over there?
Oh.
Like to improve it to like 80,000 pounds, or I don't know if that's a possibility, if there's something.
When I talked to Mark, he called me last Friday, and he said they were talking about doing 5.5 inches this next time.
Or Mark.
Hill.
Okay.
So, I mean, this shouldn't be happening. I mean,
No.
there's other
I was gonna say.
there's
less than
other
12
roads that
months.
are
Yeah,
that are
their glue,
that are
their
for-
glue failed.
So it shouldn't be happening. I mean, so that's why we talked about maybe just doing a no parking ordinance at all. But I mean, this would help Rhett. You know, if we chop the trees down here and then put some gravel down for them, then everyone would be happy. Then we wouldn't have to do the no parking ordinance. Or maybe we should just do it, and that's entirely up to you guys.
And Red is happy with that option?
Not
Well,
entirely.
Because people will come and pick up briskets or whatever. I mean, he's got a business. I mean, they come and pick stuff up from his place. You know, people park out front of his house.
If we
He
would,
had, he had also
Sorry.
said something about his driveway is kind of low, so or it's his low and then high, so people bottom out.
It's definitely the case.
It's just, yeah.
When are they coming to repair it?
I don't have anything set in stone yet.
And I
have
mean
to
that
get a
whether how
contract.
much we pay, I mean, how quick can they get out there? I mean, do we have to do this today is what I'm asking, or is this something we can bring Mr. Raytheon in and talk to him about? And-
I hope we can,
The sooner the better, because, I mean, harvest is coming.
Yeah.
And there's going to be thousands of trucks on
Yeah.
this road. And it's only gonna get worse. And they can't eat, I mean, when it's cold out, you don't wanna lay asphalt,
Right.
or it will not stick, and we'll be in the same
Again.
scenario next year.
so they haven't given you any timeline on.
Not
when
yet, not yet. I mean, I can contact
I mean-
Matt tomorrow and we can see what's going on. They have other spots they're doing in town. So I'm sure they would probably do all my little spots and then obviously this
Yeah.
section.
And cutting these trees down, I'm assuming it's gonna be like $5,000, give or take.
I haven't got them quoted yet, but I mean, that's
Ain't little
obviously-
trees.
Yeah, that's not gonna be cheap.
Here's my question, and I literally only thought of it while sitting here looking at that, and I've never asked Rhett this, and I never asked you this. Can we forego the tree on the left, take the tree out on the right, and give him essentially a driveway to the back of his building that people would be able to pull into, and his truck could be in, instead of being along the street?
Right, yeah,
If that makes
and
sense.
that's an option too. I mean,
They need to have some shade love.
right. So we'd only be cutting down one tree and
Yeah,
gravel's cheaper than.
I'm asking, not telling.
No, yeah.
But that's
That's
nothing
an option.
I've
It's an
ever
option.
said anything to Rhett, I've never said anything to you or Brian or anybody, I just thought of it. But I don't see how we can enact this without having.
And later, this will be a special meeting just for this agenda item, be in and out in a half hour, but invite Reth to come and we
Yeah.
can
And
talk
you
about
gotta
it.
know, even if he was on the agenda, he wouldn't be here tonight, it's during the fair.
Right.
I'll reach,
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him when he's free in the next few weeks or so.
And
And
I'll I can call Matt tomorrow, Matt and Dan, and figure out when their ETA of coming is and what
Even
the
if
plan is.
even if they're here tomorrow, we still wanna move the truck off the road.
Yes, so I mean,
If we get the truck moved off the road without having any pound signs in the ground, great. If we don't get the truck moved off the road without having signs in the ground, we have pound signs in the ground.
Right.
That's something Rhett, I spoke with Rhett today, actually. He also asked if there was any way that road could be made wider south of his property. Cause it narrows up to go past
That house.
Brooklyn Soders and,
Right.
the next house.
Which we widened it, I mean, we widened it, but we only widened it like a foot, and it didn't seem to
Well,
make a huge difference.
He brought up on his side of the road,
Right.
being able to, if you could add a foot or two there, even if it's gravel for right now,
Oh, there's a storm, there's culverts, and there's.
So, they could be made longer.
Yeah. That costs money.
We'll have Bodie do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So.
Do we want to table this with the idea that we're going to be calling a special meeting here soon?
well, I don't wanna call a special meeting, but I don't think we can do it tonight.
And I don't think we can wait till next month's general meeting.
No, I don't think that.
Yeah, probably the fact, like I said, it's still warm out, harvest isn't here yet, so.
Okay, wait a minute.
They can redo the road without us.
Yeah, they don't,
Yeah.
we don't need,
Right?
they don't need our approval. Here's the question.
Oh, yeah.
Would we approve or entertain to approve if Ryan and Bodie think it's a good idea to go forth and get rid of the tree and buy some gravel? Do we have to have a special meeting to do this?
I mean, that's
I-
Rhett's tree. I mean, this is not on village property. We should
No,
make
but
that
But
clear.
we're asking him to make the change.
I mean, if he agreed to it, we could do it, but that's, $5,000. So I think we probably need to talk about that.
Well, I mean.
Unless you want to make a motion.
No, that's what I'm asking. Would anybody entertain the fact that,
Well, I think we
Barring-
should talk to him about, because your idea,
well,
we should bring
but
that
I'm
up.
saying, can we have Ryan and Bodie go talk to him? The board doesn't need to, I mean,
Right,
Yeah,
like,
Do-
we're basically giving the
Yeah.
green light for them to talk.
Yeah,
and
no,
get
that's
the
fine.
you guys
feedback
decide
that's
if it needs to be done, if it's over the, we'll pick a number. If it's over that, come back to us. I mean, is that acceptable to you guys,
Yeah, I think so.
board members?
yeah,
That's
Okay.
okay with
I was just gonna say, we just need to make sure that Rhett is.
We need him, he's gotta have, he was right, he's gotta have buy-in or this is gonna be a battle.
Yeah.
That we don't want.
And I don't blame him. I mean, it's on his property.
Right.
He's
I
not doing
agree
anything
completely.
illegal, so,
I agree.
we're
completely.
asking him to do this to help save our street.
Yeah,
So, we need to have buy-in from him because he's not obligated to do it.
no,
So-
not at all, not at all.
What's the number you want to give me and Bodie to go work with him?
You cut down 1 or 2 trees.
Oh,
well, I think that's
I can get bids on the trees first, I mean, we can see how much, they might not be $5,000, I don't know.
We do 5 as the max if it goes over that.
Yeah,
Talk.
I'll make the motion that we approve $5,000 at Bodie and Ryan's discretion and go from there.
Second.
Specifically for this project.
Yeah.
Not just-
We're gonna have a fun time, Bodie.
Anything like that.
Parking.
And then we'll revisit, we'll take a roll call here.
I mean, the no parking thing, that can wait till September.
Right, we'll revisit that if this doesn't pan out.
What's your hand doing?
What's that?
You should get a computer.
I was gonna say you need the iPad that
She's gonna
converts it
call us
to text.
And do roll call.
Yes. Okay. Manthe,
Yes.
Reuter,
Yes.
Minders,
Yes.
Shevitz, yes, Miller,
Yep.
Allen.
Yes.
Okay. Got lots of M's. I know, I was gonna do alphabetical and then I'm like, you guys are.
So we will table business item 2 for now then. All right, next thing is the Market Street Water Main Project. Where is it from? Fairgram. We did not get the pour over funds. Again, our project scored a 315 and everything above 330 was funded.
Oh,
I don't know how close we were. He said there were a number of projects funded. There were 45 in total, and we were I don't know if it says in here. We were a handful below the last project funded, so I'm guessing we were in the top 10 or so, give or take. He didn't have exact numbers. I reached out to him and asked him if we could get a grading rubric, how we could increase from 315 to 330 for next year. And he did not have that accessible to us. See what I can do on that end.
I was just gonna say, what do we need to do? Like, what are they looking for?
I can talk to Bridget too.
What?
population's part of it.
That is definitely a
For you
big
to
part of it.
spend more money, that's what they
Yeah.
really want.
Extend the water
Yeah.
main.
Yeah.
Do all of Main Street
Yeah, we could do
and get it all done at once.
We could count
Right
dogs and
before they-
chickens.
I was thinking the other way. I'm thinking maybe if we get smaller, we will get the pour over funds,
No, sadly.
but the big thing is, they're ready to resubmit this grant for next year. We were close, no matter how you slice it. And the big thing is the water main actually hasn't broken a year. So
You better-
It's been a while, I've been thinking about it.
We're gonna knock them
Call
down.
tonight,
Yeah.
As I say, we're not allowed to talk about
Yeah.
that in my house.
I knocked. So assuming that's what the board wants to do is reapply for this loan, Fairgraham will have an ordinance for us to sign, which will be step one that will pass at the next meeting. And we'll go from there. The big thing to note, I think that maybe we should discuss is the state is coming in 27. So if we are not approved next year, we're definitely not applying in 27 to tear up the road again after the state comes in. So we should probably have a contingency plan in the back of our minds about what we want to do in the event we don't get the loan next year. Kyle had an idea.
Perry, what were they called when we came up with different options? When Fairgraham was bidding the process?
Just alternate.
Alternates is the word I was looking for. The alternate we were discussing earlier, or Ryan and I were discussing earlier, is the two tie-ins being one at the post office and one down at the old grocery store. That would be, for better terms, where the new water main connects to the old water main under the street, that we would do those portions of the project prior to the blacktopping for Route 72. And even if we have to pay for those out of our hip pocket, and then patiently wait for the rest of the project. That would only be the alternate we would only go with if we did not, if by what, May?
Well, the first funding
Was-
decision will be in April or May,
Yeah,
and in July is when the pour over. So
If
Which-
we,
we probably have to wait for the pour. I mean, we have to be ready on day one once we get the
but that's
notice.
what I'm saying, if we could have the plans
in
ready to
place.
go,
Mhm.
so they could be shovel, it'd be essentially be called shovel ready,
Mhm.
so we can go at a moment's notice essentially.
so if we did that, and we did not get the loan next year, and we went with the contingency plan of us doing that minimal work, is there an opportunity for us to recoup that in future years' asks, or is that just a ship that sails?
Once, it's been the way they've told us before, is once you've spent the money, you can't apply for grant money.
That's my understanding for most grants. I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule, but
What was it? What did Darren, did they quote us for what it was gonna cost to do the whole entire Main Street? Or was that never part of the?
I
the
think
scope
they,
work?
I don't know if they ever, like,
That was the night I made Jared mad, no.
Well, I mean, just because, I mean, they are redoing the road, why wouldn't we do all of Main Street so we don't have to worry about it?
they would get rid of the last two lead service lines in town too.
It basically boiled down to money, we couldn't afford it,
How do we know we couldn't afford it if they didn't quote the whole thing?
Right.
because
They
we could barely,
gave us a ballpark
because we could
number,
barely
I think.
afford what we,
I don't think they gave us an official breakdown of the whole thing, I think they gave us kind of a ballpark number.
But wasn't there like a 5-year plan where you could do, like, you had the scope of work and if you did,
We could set up a 5-year plan, with like an EPA funding. We would have to have a project for each year that we would potentially want to do. You don't have to do those projects, but they would have to be in the plan. And so we could do the Main Street water main, then we could do, say we wanted meters in town, that could be the second year project. Third year, we could do the new water main behind the bank, so people aren't on an 1.5-inch service or water
Oh.
main.
I guarantee you, if we tear into the water main downtown, that will get roped into it.
I'm just, so that would be what the 5-year plan was, but you don't actually have to do those projects, when it comes time to it, you just have to.
but I mean, getting it grant wise, I mean, doing that, this whole stretch might put us in a better
You get it done before.
Well, if we find out what the rubric is, it would help.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's say if you can get it done before they come with a blacktop machine, go for it.
I mean, we have 2 years. I mean,
Right.
I also don't know how we're gonna get, well,
We have one more shot at the grant.
we have one more shot at the
Right.
grant. Here's the biggest problem, and this, Steve said it. This doesn't affect enough people for the state to care. That's why we shrunk the project down from the post office to the grocery store, thinking, well, if we have to, we can afford it.
And then those leftover, the also idea was those leftover funds, maybe we're more competitive if we're asking for less money.
Exactly.
We don't know if that's true because we don't know what the rubric is, but that was at least our thought process, and
Ask.
we'll figure it out. We'll try to find it. Also, last year, when we thought maybe we needed to do this project self-fund, we did go around to all the local banks and get quotes for what a $500,000 loan would look like over 25, 30 years. And those are in your folders. The state bank here in Shannon was the cheapest rate. What it boils down to is if we self-funded it and then raised taxes, which would be unfortunate,
No, you can't raise taxes to pay for that.
well, then we're not, I don't know where the money comes from.
You have to raise water rates.
Well, that's what I meant.
No, I'm
Utility
just
rates,
saying-
sorry.
No,
Let me
but-
fix the
but
wording.
people will get very
Let me
confused.
fix the wording. You're
You
right.
cannot
Wording
tax-
matters.
You cannot tax.
Wording matters. The utility rate.
Yes.
It would be $750 to $850 per connection per month to pay for this project. So right now we are actually, people think we have very high water rates compared to where we were 10 years ago. We are pretty much right where every other municipality is in the region, other than say Pearl City. Pearl City is insane. I don't know how they fund anything, but excluding them, we are very much in the middle.
Water system.
Yeah, we're very much in the middle.
Pearl City also replaced a good portion of their water system in the 90s.
Yeah. So obviously this is no one wants to do this, but there's the numbers so you can contemplate those and also refer to those numbers when we get
Yeah.
lower down in these
Get a
businesses.
Better idea of what they're looking for and have the answers to the test, so to speak, so that we can become more attractive.
We just need 15 points. Doesn't sound too hard.
For the state of Illinois, how much could it cost?
So we'll try to figure it out. I don't need a motion or anything today. I think there's no reason not to apply for this grant for next year. I'll see if Darren wants to come down from Fair Graham next month so we can ask him questions.
I wouldn't even want to share.
We're his favorites, so. So we'll table 4 for now. We'll continue to look at those other options when we talk to Darren next month, and we'll pass the ordinance. That's the first step for applying for the grant. Business item number 5 is garbage and water rates. The big thing is we decided not to touch garbage last year because we wanted to see if we were going to get the grant, whether we were going to self-fund that along with the water rates, but our garbage rates are actually too low. We are subsidizing each month, each person who gets a bill. I think it's about 25 cents that we're undercharging at the moment and have been undercharging all year. And it's going to go up again in January. So
Out of our control.
out of our control, it's going up again in
I'm just
January,
making you say that, sorry.
When's their contract up?
27. So,
And our garbage contract, don't misunderstand. We're legally obligated to have them because they seem like they can change it at any moment.
I was gonna say,
Can we walk away from their contract?
if we're under contract, what's the escalator in the contract that allows them to raise our rate year over year? Doing?
There's a cost of living increase, there's a cost of diesel fuel increase, there's a legitimate increase every year.
and I can send the contract around.
Is
I
there
had-
any provisions in it of if the increase is too significant that we can get out of the contract and seek other?
I highly doubt it because they wrote it.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
For them.
That would be why, the last time they asked for a new garbage, contract, it was 5-1. Me sitting here going, we're not out of contract, why would we agree to this?
So it's up in 27. Probably bulk pickup is going to be an issue of contention after 27.
Morris gave it to us the last time.
Right. Just another idea. But under our current contract, the rates are definitely going to be going up again in January. So we need to at least account for what we've been losing this year, which is 25 cents. And if we want to preempt the next raise in January, I'd suggest a higher rate than 25 cents increase.
Garbage is gonna, let's be honest, nobody, this isn't popular. Garbage is gonna have to go up minimum of $1.
I was just saying the same thing.
I think that would preempt.
I mean, we're not gonna charge $16.25, so we're covering today's cost. We have to cover the next year's cost. And oh, by the way, the water department's been paying a quarter per user per month for at least a year, and I think maybe a little more.
Right.
Maybe. Because we didn't raise it last year.
Right. We passed on it.
I know it's not popular, and you know what? To everybody who says we pay an exorbitant water bill, well, you've never drove a well.
I agree, and we don't want to just do a quarter and then have to keep doing it every single year.
But people need to understand, this isn't the 7 of us deciding that, yeehaw, we need the garbage, or, you know, we want the water bill to go up. You need to understand, this is over and above our head. We have no control over the garbage cost. None. So,
You have a motion?
I still think that it would be worth for us to look into the contract.
Oh, I agree
If there's any way
completely.
to get out of it and seek competitive bids. I mean, there has to, well, maybe not since they wrote it, but they were bought out since we signed the contract. So there would have to be some, I would think.
They have to honor it. They have to honor the last
But there would
contract.
have to be some sort of provision for us to get out of it since it's not the same.
It's like if you were
It-
renting a building.
It wouldn't be, it's typical for that kind of thing to have something that it can go up every year by a certain percentage or by the rate of inflation or anything. So that's not anything that's atypical or odd in that type of a
I don't
contract.
disagree. What I'm saying is Mooring was bought out. So us being under contract with Mooring, there, I would
Did
think.
we sign a new contract when they bought? No.
They
No,
took,
we haven't signed one.
they
since.
took it over. It's
I'm
like,
sure it's got assignability language that if they can assign the
Yeah.
contract, so.
if you're renting an apartment and someone buys the apartment complex, you don't get out of your contract.
No, I
You have,
understand.
and it's the same thing
It's
here.
not an automatic, but there might,
I'll send it around and I'll look into it, but I would
looked at
not,
it in a long time.
well, I looked at it briefly a few months ago. I would not expect that language to be in here, I guess, but I'll look as well.
Well, I mean, we call Republic today and say, we no longer want your service. What are they gonna do to us?
Sue us?
sue us, yeah.
We're under contract. 2 years of payment.
Yeah.
And then we will.
That would
pay-
set a great precedence as a new business.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
They are a very, very large business.
Yeah.
Republic.
Very, very
That's
large
making
business.
no friends locally.
No.
They don't care.
All right. Did I have a motion?
To do what?
I motion that we
Raise.
raise garbage $1.
Starting January or
Starting
December, I don't
Now?
remember. Denise usually tells us.
Whenever we need to.
We can change it now. There's no reason to wait for the next fiscal year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can change
We
it now.
don't change it in the middle of the year because of your annual payees.
Hmm.
It screws up billing. If Denise was here, she'd tell you that.
So you want to wait up till the next year, January
No,
1st?
we usually do it, we usually do it in the December or January meetings. It goes out in the January bill. I mean, you're welcome to have that argument with her, but
One
Have
thing I
at it.
will say is if we do decide to do this, that we need to do a better job of notifying people that it is going up. I will just speak from experience. We were like, I don't know, $15, $20 behind because we were paying the same amount that we thought it always was because we had an automatic, like we were just automatically paying it. And then all of a sudden we got the lovely call from Denise that your water bill is behind. And I'm like, we pay it every month. What are you talking about? Well, the increase went in. I had no idea.
And I will say at the bank, if you have an auto pay, so like I just have it set up as a recurring.
Yeah.
The bank adjusts that each month. Like, okay, so it goes up, it's 112, it goes up to 113. The bank, we let the bank know when they make that adjustment for anybody who has a recurring.
Yeah.
So
you were saying you just wrote the check out the same, you never changed.
We never looked at the bill. We literally wrote the same check out every month,
I've done
went
that.
down and paid it. and then we were behind.
There's comments in those bills. You need to look at them.
That's another reason I would caution you doing it in the middle of the year is, I'll be honest with you, put something out on Facebook, put something out in, I know we don't have paper, but let
This is
people,
coming
let people know
January
it's
1st.
coming January 1st. And
They're in the minutes, but yes, I will make sure it
I-
loud and
We're broadcasting.
maybe not proud, but I'll make it loud that it's coming.
guys, I'm not proud of it either, but it's part of doing business. We have to cover the cost.
No, we've been losing money
Well,
this whole
you
year.
either- Yeah, you either pay for it out of, we compensate for it, or we have, I mean,
We've been compensated.
people are
at
paying for
least
it
a year.
either way. We're paying for it either way.
Yeah.
You know,
All right, there was a first.
Alan, and then
Second.
Steve.
All right, roll call.
Wait a minute. For the dollar.
For the dollar
Sorry.
added for garbage starting January 1st of 26.
Can we say unless Denise agrees that it's okay to start a meeting?
We can always revisit it. We can always.
Part of this, we can always change.
All right, that's the motion.
Shevitz,
Yes.
Miller,
Yep.
Allen.
Yes.
Minders,
Yes.
Reuter.
Yeah.
Manthe.
Yes.
Is it broke out on, this is terrible, because I don't look at the bill. Is it broke out on the bill?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's a.
I look at the bills now.
I don't. I have to check once a year, and I don't even think about it.
Chief, are we going to item 6 here? Are we removing Mr. Miller from the auxiliary account?
Yes.
So for number 6, I'm looking to remove Eric Miller from the auxiliary bank account, his access to it, and I'm also looking to add Nicole here to all of the bank's accounts as well.
I so moved.
Second.
Third. I don't have to come down second.
Or could we all do them all like that?
Yeah. You just do first, second, third, fourth, just be
Yeah.
done with it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Denise would hate that.
No, I meant how much discussion there was.
Oh, sorry.
Who was the first and the second?
First was
No, it wasn't me.
I seconded
I'll
it.
take the first.
but-
Well, it wasn't. I think it was. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
it was.
It was. I'm sorry.
You first, okay.
Does the owl have instant replay?
Slow
Yes, it was.
motion.
Who was the second?
That's terrible. We just did it.
Okay. Roll call again.
Yes.
Manthe,
Yes.
Reuter.
Yeah.
Minders,
Yes.
Shevitz.
Yes.
Miller,
Yep.
Allen.
Okay. Moving on to a agenda. It's only been an hour and 8 minutes. This something's happening here.
Yes, I agree.
Do you need one?
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll take 2 minutes.
Okay.
Hurry up, because I need to. when I leave.
You're on the clock.
This is only an hour and 8 minutes in.
Can I motion that the air fresheners, whatever these?
It is very strong.
I unplugged this one. Is that the only one?
That is the only one. It's because this room's closed. I walked in today.
Instant headache. Instant
Yes,
headache.
I agree. It smells very nice.
If it were apple cinnamon or something like that, this flavor is like.
We'll change that at Christmas time. For you.
Right before I
Yeah.
left the house.
It's
I agree. I think this is a project
Yes,
we need
this
to
room,
do.
this room remains closed up, so everything harbors right here. Trust me, it gets overwhelming in there too at times, but I like it. So. You're right, you're right. I come home and I get accused of, they smell good.
I think this is something we
No,
need
it
to
is.
move
I
to.
like it. But Marcy's right, it is strong.
It's,
We can,
it's gives me an instant headache.
Yeah, the cloud kit, that's right there.
My Ryan and egg timer. After the first hour. we
That's a cloud
stopped.
kit. That's a little pricey, but we handle 16 homes.
well, that's not a bad price. This is, I mean, I think this is what I'd like to move to ultimately, just for the rest of the board. Steve is minus Marcy. Steve's talking about metering all the homes, which I think would be a great idea, though costly. I think it's something maybe for grants for next year.
I
It's neat. Prince the bill,
Yeah,
How do you don't have meter readers now?
no.
When I was in Tampico, they put meters in all the homes down in Tampico, and all he had to do was just drive.
Yeah.
You talking about water meters?
Yeah.
This one
Worst
will
thing you
send
can
a
do.
signal right down.
Well,
the
it'd be
computer,
insane
print
to
the
do
bill
it.
and everything.
It would cost a lot.
Does it? Yeah.
In
that-
2019, that was $750,000.
Yeah.
You
Now
will
they're
have the
$45.
EPA and people from the state
No, I mean to have
bothering
it
you
done. for the
endlessly
entire
about
building.
anything
It was
with
$750,000
whatever
in
anybody's
2019.
crazy conservation
And now it's
ideas
taking a
about
plumber,
might be.
what,
And
hour?
I-
put the-
Yeah.
In the basement, put it in there, you're done.
And what I will tell you is the argument that was had at that time and the argument we will have again when we want to raise the water the next time. For everybody who paid a cheap water bill for 30 years in the town of Shannon, we did the village a horrible disservice by not having O&M money set aside, by not paying our fair share. I'm sorry.
I think it'll probably be lower for the elderly.
Yeah, who have lived here their entire lives and
Yeah.
haven't helped pay for the infrastructure that the rest of us now have to pay for.
Yeah. You go by what you use instead of,
Still has to be paid
There would
for.
still be O&M fees on the
I say,
bills then.
it still has to be paid
You
for,
would
is the
still
sad
have
part.
that.
oh, yeah.
You would pay your rate, whatever we could set it at,
Yeah.
and then there would be the O&M fees and
Yep.
all that line items, like her Freeport water bill that has,
Plus,
you know,
we
8
would still
things
have
you
that.
pay
Yeah.
for.
Plus, we still have
You know, talking
Pay to
about
put it in.
water bill
Right,
problems.
yes, exactly.
I'm talking
Takes longer, maybe an hour to put it in.
Ask their
I'm here-
Super easy.
residents.
I'm here to tell you, it was
that's why,
$750,000
that's
in
why
20.
Stickle doesn't.
It wasn't
I don't know why,
19,
but I don't know
20.
more, so that's why Stickle doesn't.
It was
like
part
me,
of the,
because
it was part of
they
the
make
grant,
some comment about, oh,
part of the
landers
big
are gonna do
project.
this.
I
said,
do
"I know they
foresee
are," because I'm resident of Landon, so I should know.
I agree.
When they want
We-
to work, they can square it.
Yeah.
We have the entire board back here. Steve, did you want to talk about this a little bit? It's on the agenda tonight if you wanted to talk about water rates. So,
Overseas,
Steve-
there'll be a tsunami, they won't be in a drought anymore.
We have a lot more things to look at.
sure, I think we have enough.
Yeah.
Just want to pass it around. I have one.
Overseas, the Islamics have it their way.
Yeah.
They're gonna, the Russians are gonna bomb on the coast. Some
You mean put a water-
tsunamis, they'll have
put a
all the
water-
water they eat.
Yeah. So that's something that if everybody takes a look at,
I'm sorry.
that water map,
Trash.
there are
I don't care.
water mains here and water mains here that were not originally part of the project in
Shannon Illinois uses it.
2019,
Because they can't-
whatever the big project is done.
Exactly.
Sure. And those were added because of,
Yeah.
once they had the trenches dug and they realized that houses didn't have enough water, that those expenses were added. I guarantee we will run into the same thing the next time we do a water main project.
So,
Where we have to add water main in places we didn't intend to put it.
so this is, Steve's just passing around essentially water meters. This is an idea that's been around Shannon for some time, metering the entire town.
They tried it with commercial, things on a limited basis, and it was an absolute disaster because the revenue plummeted because nobody knew where half of the water lines were to go in place. I know the nursing home was paying, ended up paying like about a fifth of what they were before.
And after they demolished it, they realized they had, 2 or 3 water services?
4 or 5, I think
Yeah,
it was.
it was way more than one.
You can get these without a pulse output. They're a lot cheaper and the people just read their meters every month themselves. Or the pulse output ones, they'll send a signal right down here. They'll do the billing. They'll notify if you use more water than you did last month, if there's a leak. It's all in the programming. And you have to have a cloud unit. That'll support 16 meters, one cloud unit. If you want to go with the output ones. That way everybody pay for what they use. The elderly people, 1 or 2 people in the home, they wouldn't have to pay as much as a family. I think it'd be a fair thing to do. The only thing to figure out is what's the water cost to charge.
$1.50 a gallon.
Plus, you got a lot of homes that don't have shut-offs. This eliminated a shut-off before it and after it. Somebody has a leak, they just get on and shut their own water off. They're not calling Bodie at 3 a.m. Hey, shut off a water main that shuts down 5 homes, which we have a few around here like that.
I think I'll just let you know, my intent after this meeting is to start talking about the grants we want to apply for next year. I'd like to apply for 4 or 5 large-scale grants, one including water. And for each grant, we'll have discussions about what specifically we want in there. It gives me a few months to start writing them and talk to the stakeholders. So water meters, I think, is certainly one we need to talk about for the water grant. I mean, they're expensive. Kyle's right. The last number the village got was $750,000 to meter the entire village. I understand the price for this one looks low, $46, but the quote that we got to do the entire village was $750,000. I don't know.
That's just for the meter, that's not everything that comes with it.
So
But I'm figuring it'll take a plumber way less than an hour to put one of these in. What's that, $100 an hour, 200?
Also won't have,
You know,
this one, I would almost bet wouldn't be covered by a grant because I don't think.
well, there's several. This is just one I picked out. There's hundreds of them.
It's only this, that one we're gonna have to be allowed to go into the home, not everybody's probably
Yeah.
gonna be willing to like.
If somebody doesn't want a meter, well, they can pay a regular bill.
or pay the highest rate in the village.
Well, and
We can always,
guys, I'll go back to the same thing. We still have to pay all the money back we borrowed. And for everybody who's lived here in town for 50 years, I'm sorry, you've had incredibly cheap water for incredibly too long and we have to pay for it. Why does
Right, well,
my
there'd be,
generation have to pay for the last generation screw up?
there'd be a minimum set,
I don't
to
understand that.
cover it, to
Yeah.
cover the loan.
I understand, but everybody's thinking, oh my God, it'll be so much cheaper. It's like, no, it really won't. We still have to cover the costs.
Yeah, I think
We
it'd be
can't lower
fair.
our
Yeah,
the water
that-
bill any
exactly.
more than what it is.
If you want your,
Use.
no, bear with me. If you want your water bill lowered today, the way we bill, her water bill has to go up.
Our
If
water
you want
bills
your water-
were set- Our water
No.
bills were set when we got the EPA loan.
Yep.
For the project. So our water bills cannot go lower than what they are currently. There is no lower.
There's no way
It
to
can
do it.
only go up or
Hmm.
stay the same.
So
We still have to cover the expense is what we're saying.
well, you're talking about the total.
money has to
I
come
just
from
want to
somewhere.
clarify because you're talking about the entire money revenue we get in every month has to stay the same, not each
Yep.
individual water bill. Okay,
Correct.
all right. I think
So if
that's, I
somebody's
think we understand.
bill goes down, then
Someone-
Right.
Somebody else's has to go up.
Right,
And
and
no offense,
and
I have no desire to pay for somebody else's house.
well, if we're
Should be a way to adjust the rate though to cover it.
right, and there is. I mean, the effect of it is that 4-person households will be paying a much larger rate, and which coincides with the water they use. I mean, I understand the fairness, and I don't think metering is inherently a bad idea. Just remember that 70% of the households in Shannon are 1 or 2 people.
Okay, so what happens when I'm like, oh, here's my family of 6. I'm gonna go over to grandma's house who only pays this much, and I'm gonna do all my laundry over there.
That would be that. I mean, that's the good thing about meters. They'll get a number every month, and it'll be billed for that water usage. So you can't game the
So
system.
The hope is that
Right.
everything would still balance out.
It would have to
That'd be
balance
great.
out.
There's not a hope. It has to.
That's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at. That's what you guys are saying. is that, like, it has
Understand
to because it-
The water bill today is 111.
Well,
Well,
that's with everything.
That's
That's all 3. I understand that,
Yes.
but it's never going to get cheaper than that.
No, it can for certain people. No,
No.
yes,
Not
you're,
in, not in cover expenses.
Just the
No.
water.
Just- no,
The
you're-
water portion.
you're misunderstanding. The monthly amount we get has to stay the same. Individual water bills can differ. Steve can pay less than me as long as
Then he's
the
not paying for the stuff we.
he's paying for his water usage.
But that's not how. it
That's
was
not how any of this
technically
works,
set When
though.
we did the EPA.
Well, that's what
grants.
metering would do. It's obviously not
No.
how it works now.
Ryan, it won't. It has to cover the expenses.
Right.
We are covering the expenses plus about what, $6 for O&M?
I don't remember them.
But I mean,
But, yeah.
understand,
somewhere close.
we didn't make the water more expensive for fun.
I understand.
We
Yeah.
based it off of this is how many users we have, this is how much money we have to raise. This is what we came up with for a bill. The only way for him to get a cheaper water bill is for somebody else to get more expensive.
Well, if
Yeah, I
somebody's
mean-
using more water, and it's only fair they pay more.
That, it doesn't matter about the water at all, sadly.
I think we're all saying the same thing. There's just some
It doesn't-
disconnect
It doesn't
here.
matter if you have a swimming pool or not.
Say that
The
I
cost
am
is the cost.
A fan of meters, but we really need to get Main Street water main replaced first and foremost.
That's a focus of the
That is
grant.
where our
I
money
mean,
needs to go.
There's a
right
lot
now.
of other priorities.
And I would love water meters eventually. It's just not at the top of my list of things that are needed right now.
Well-
So if you guys care about my input, that's.
Right.
I'm not saying, these are a great idea. I think water meters are a great idea for the town.
And they will likely be mandated at some
And I
point.
think they will be mandated eventually, yes. So,
But I think we were all saying the same
They were
thing.
just the reason
Yeah.
not
The-
As
not-
long as we use it, I don't
I
see
agree.
it will have to even out.
Wait a minute,
Someone,
listen to what Kip just said.
if they're if they're going to eventually mandate them, that is a reason in and of itself not to put them in voluntarily.
Yes, I
Let them
agree.
pay for them.
Yeah,
The federal government wants them.
If it's coming
federal
down the
government can
pike,
pay for it.
we may as well wait and see what.
see if they
And
give
I
us,
don't see-
make sure it's not a
And let's be
unfunded
honest,
mandate.
I don't see that
Oh,
happening.
you can guarantee it will be an unfunded mandate, but
Don't
don't give them, like I say, I've been through round and round with it over in Lanark because I live over there. We don't have water meters in Lanark. I'm adamantly opposed to ever getting any. There's no reason for it in a small town. People use the amount of water they use. It doesn't matter. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pay what you're gonna pay, and you're gonna pay for what you use. So
Yep.
that's the way it works out. That's the only way it can work out.
Don't worry, eventually your water line's gonna run to California anyway.
All right, well, we can certainly bring this up again. We don't need, obviously, we just wanted to have the discussion. Steve brought the items. Moving on to number 7, which is review of ordinance 351. I sent this out, I hope, to everyone earlier this month, not in the agenda packet, if you want to call it that, through email last week, but Kip found an ordinance that was passed in 2012 that was signed and passed, but never made its way into the ordinance book.
Code.
Into the code. Thank you.
Oh, perfect.
So it's been the
I mean,
law,
it's still
still
law.
good,
Still
still,
law.
still good
it's just
law.
Nobody ever knew about it.
Correct.
That's awesome.
So I wanted to review this. Notably, it deals with storage containers and shipping containers, which we had some discussions about, and they're not allowed in Shannon. So that issue, and this is included in your packet. You don't have to look. It's on there. This is, yeah, definition, and under definition A, container and trailer, and then general regulations, they're not allowed. So I guess I just want to make sure we're all happy with this ordinance, or if we want to change something.
You're just allowed in commercial.
This says no.
Heavy industry.
Heavy industry.
They need to be. Because they're already there.
Well,
At a time, as I recall, the proposal was somebody wanted to bring in semi-trailers and remove the wheels. and then
exception
they wanted-
C1.
They wanted to bring in
C1.
shipping containers. And then they had
Does
another
not
person with a
apply to
perpetual
heavy
problem
industry.
that bought a box truck and claimed that it was storage for his firewood.
CN1.
No, we-
No, C1. Exception C1. If you're looking at the ordinance,
Exception C1 does not apply to heavy industry.
No, I'm literally, look at this.
yeah.
I know what you're looking
But
at.
It's,
but
it's CN1, is
Oh,
heavy industry and business.
well, notably, light industry is not affected. Light industry, you're not allowed in light industry. Is that something we're happy about? Do we want it allowed in light industry? And I'd also note, just while looking at it, B4, at no time shall a motor vehicle, container, or trailer be used for business purposes in the village. That seems a bit broad.
I don't even know how you could enforce that.
Well, I mean, I think at that time it was basically didn't want somebody essentially turning one into a shop or
Oh, I understand completely.
portable. I think that was the idea at the time, but
For like a food truck?
Well,
Or
that
a trailer.
the food truck,
I said
or I'm
trailer.
thinking of the copper B. I mean,
Yeah,
I think clearly the copper B by this ordinance.
well, I mean, I think the concern was not the food truck, but the concern was somebody who's going to park a shipping
Correct.
53-foot
Correct.
shipping container on their property, cut a window in it, and say, "This is my business premises," more than it was.
Wait, didn't that just happen?
So I'm thinking C1, these are just my suggestions. C1 needs to include light industry in addition to heavy industry. And B4, at no time shall a motor vehicle, container, or trailer be used or occupied for business purposes. I think that should say in residential R1 and R2. That would be my suggestion.
Doesn't the trailer need an ordinance or
It does
not an ordinance?
a permit.
Thank you.
Yes, they do. I guess my concern is B4 is way too broad and C1 needs to include light industry. Other than that, I'm pretty,
Light industry is a lot of residential in the town of Shannon. I'm sorry to say that. Pink is light industry.
I agree. So you think about,
And-
though there are some industry in light industry as well.
Right.
Unfortunately, we're left with a map that was butchered by
Well,
way back in the day.
no, it's real easy to figure out. Everything along the railroad that isn't there is heavy industry, and everything else is light industry or residential.
Yeah.
Well, could you guys like do just like businesses, light industry business?
Yeah,
Because
that's
This is no home in light
Sure.
industry,
businesses and light
no
industry.
dwellings.
The problems that this resulted from would have existed between the post office and the grocery store at the time. One was somebody wanted to bring these things in and use them for storage purposes. The other was somebody who literally brought in a Ryder box truck and took the wheels off of it and put it up on blocks in his yard and claimed that it was there for firewood, his firewood business. He was selling firewood out of it. So that it didn't count as an inoperable motor vehicle.
So you specify business.
So I guess that's part of the reason why it was broad, because so many
Yeah.
people spend so much time trying to figure out how to do things that are just dumb.
So
Welcome to my world.
by giving the Copper Bee a permit,
Still not allowed
still not allowed.
because this ordinance says they're not allowed to. Well, we have a permit that makes,
Right.
I mean,
Their business.
right. If we just specify that permits are, in light industry, if you are a business and you have to get the permit, I suppose the permit is free. You just need to say you're a business.
And not a residence.
Right. So the primary purpose of the lot is not for dwelling purposes. And you are a business as permitted by the Village of Shannon, something to that effect. I mean, that's
So
just spitballing
I
language.
asked this, now across from your house is light industry. Would you want to have a dozen rail containers across from your house or next to your house?
And on business.
I think there already is.
Well, I'm asking because I have it next or behind me too.
I mean,
They're not a business. Now, how easy
Like I
it is
say,
to get the business
problem
permit is
area
a problem.
Pink on the map there,
Yeah,
so.
the problem area is very pink.
Or we just keep it heavy industry.
And if the problem arises, we change it.
Well, there's technically already people in violation of this. Not saying,
Where? Oh, for
Like-
the trailer, you mean?
yeah,
We gave them permit.
Still in violation.
We didn't even know it was a rule.
Well, I know, but that's what he's saying, is we need to change
Yeah.
it. No, they
No,
are
no,
in
no,
violation.
We can change that part, I understand.
Yeah.
well, no, he was just talking about, for example, if they had containers across the street.
Process screw, were you talking about?
Yeah.
Well,
I've like-
I mean, I don't think the stuff there anyway.
I have light industry behind my house.
If everything was confined into boxes.
Yeah, but
probably.
that's a resident, that would be like a dwelling.
It's light
For a
industry.
house.
It's,
He just said that he
no,
was.
no, guys, I'm not trying to be mean. This is zoned separately from the residence. There's no house back there.
if someone buys it and puts a business back there.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the
Do you
thing,
wanna- do you
we're also-
want a shipping container storage unit. back
we're also the zoning board, so we can put it on the
Well-
agenda, get rid of that light industry.
Right.
I don't disagree. That needs to happen in this town.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's kind of, I guess, comes around to the evils of spot zoning, where when you spot zone things like that, they live on rather than, okay, it's non-conforming. Once it ceases to exist, it goes away.
So maybe something we need to
So
do
you've
is
been
to
better
go
off
through
with
all the light
special
industry on this map and start
Always better off. with
getting rid of the
special.
pink.
What is the pink light industry on Rose Street?
That's the old barber.
Yes.
The old,
Oh.
Or that makes sense.
Yeah. Blinkers. You don't know the Blinkers. Oh,
No,
crap.
I know it as the old salon,
Here, yeah. I don't know who owns it now.
but it's not current business right
See, and
now.
all those
But
things
it's
should have been
still
done
like
with
it.
special use permits years ago rather than rezoning.
Special use permits have not been something we've utilized a lot.
But that's something
We
he said
can.
we're better off to,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
we're better off to give a special use permit to the Copper Beef than we are to say the whole town. can
That's
have
not how
trailers.
special use permits work. The problem here is,
That's just what he said.
no, he wants us to use, if someone wants to be, well, we need to amend what R1 and R2 special use permits are. The code was amended in 2013 to only allow very specific things as special use permit. So right now you have to fall into one of those categories where before 2013, you could apply for a special use permit for essentially everything.
Yeah,
That's not how it works anymore.
you could make it work.
We can make it work that
I
way.
say,
The problem is now,
But that's a slippery slope though.
the problem is now the common sense thing to do is to allow storage containers in light industry. That's going to be a lot of work on our end because we need to erase a lot of this pink on the map. But I think that's the most common sense thing to do.
I agree.
And we need to make clear that trailers and containers can be used as a business in light industry and heavy industry with permit. I think that's what makes sense to me.
with a trailer, I wouldn't use a container.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer in this instance was the person wanted to purchase 2 semi-trailers.
So do you just want to get rid
And
of
he
the
wanted
word
to
trailer
remove the
here?
Wheels from them, and he wanted
That's
to
also an
place them
easy
on the
fix.
ground to use them like it was a container.
Well, I'll give you a, for instance, as a business out of a container in Lena, there's a coffee shop that's in an old like an old rail car container.
Mhm.
So right now, that wouldn't be allowed in Shannon. I don't see if it's in light industry or heavy industry, why that would be an issue.
Just asking.
It's because we're thinking of every other person that's gonna use.
I guess if you
Yeah,
have. a
there's,
residence
the
on
problem is it
Market
allows
Street
for,
between the post office and the old grocery store now.
if people are
right,
reasonable, it's not a
if Somebody
problem.
wanted to put
People are not
2
reasonable.
53-foot
I mean, if you want to be,
semi-trailers off of their
Right.
wheels,
I mean, that's the issue.
3-foot
People like
shipping
loopholes.
containers
yeah.
behind their residence,
Yeah.
then if you open that up to light industry, you could.
Here's the
But if we
easiest,
open it- But what he's saying is if we open it up to businesses in light industry, that would eliminate that.
you'd have to get the permit. The big thing is it's easy to become a business, I suppose.
Mhm.
But we need, I mean, I want to make sure our ordinances make sense and that things currently in use are in conjunction with our ordinances. I don't want to say, well, we're not going to worry about them even though it doesn't comply with our ordinances. I want to make sure our ordinances make sense.
I understand.
And they're
what you're saying.
enforceable.
I agree.
I mean, the easiest one is we can get rid of trailer in B4. So at no time shall a motor vehicle or container be used or occupied for business purposes. So trailers are okay, Rhett's okay, Copper B's okay, and then you just make C1 to say light industry as well.
But as I say, I reiterate that the intent with that was a fixed rather than a trailer or a food truck or something like
And
that. So
Rhett's just an example. Rhett was
Motor
in
vehicle-
before 2013, before the special use. So that's a whole different thing. I was using that example, bad
motor
example,
vehicle,
but
That would be a motor vehicle too.
right.
If you have a truck, I'm saying.
The big thing with him is he got the special use permits before the changes, which allowed for the old special use. You could apply for anything essentially.
But the nice part about the special use is it goes away when he sells something.
Correct.
I think we're all saying the same thing, that we want to encourage businesses, but we want to eliminate the use of storage units on people's personal property, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, Miles.
You're right. No, you can't write that. That's too simple.
So to C1, we want to, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. C1, we want this ordinance to change to include light industry, and B4 should note that it's at no time should be used in a business should not be run out of a trailer or container where the primary purpose of the lot is a residential dwelling. Is that something to that effect?
There you go.
All right, Kip, you got your,
okay.
we'll deal with the ordinance. You can write it up and we'll deal with it at
What
the next
do you
meeting.
do when you got these people that got iPods, say they buy a house, move in and it sits there for a month? you know, give them some kind of,
Okay, okay, I understand. That's not allowed. Currently, they're allowed to use it for moving, but when they're done moving, they're supposed to get rid of it. I mean, that's what's currently in there, so. If we need any more specificity of what we're looking for B4 to be changed to include light, and we want C1 to include light industry. We want B4 to make clear that if the primary purpose of a lot is a residential dwelling, no business can exist on it. Correct?
No business, no container.
No container
Yeah.
or trailer business can exist on a lot that's primary purpose is a residential dwelling. Something to that effect is, all right, we'll write it up and we can debate the language on the next meeting. Okay. Next one is the Zoning Board of Appeals, one of the last boards that exists in Shannon after we've got rid of everything else. I've included some language in your folder about two options we have going about. I also created this nice handy dandy, it says slideshow, but it's just one thing. Yeah. I'm just going to assume everyone can see it right here. So as it currently stands, this is my understanding. This is how things work. There's a zoning issue right now for the board. Well, I'll go the other way. Let's say Bodie denies someone's permit. The Zoning Board of Appeals can overrule Bodie. As it currently stands, the Zoning Board of Appeals has actual power in that they can overrule Bodie. We don't have a say in their decision if they want to overrule Bodie. Request for variance, special use, as it currently stands, the Zoning Board of Appeals, the ZBA looks at that, but that's a written recommendation to us. And then we review that recommendation. Everything else goes directly to us. So what I'm asking for is if we want to keep this middle step in both of these, or in the alternative, I don't like the idea of an unelected board having actual power that we can't review. So I'd like, if we do want to keep the Zoning Board of Appeals, I'd ask that it be changed to purely advisory so we can look at their recommendations for Bodie. Because as it currently stands, they decide on the appeals that come from Bodie's decisions.
And they're appointed, not really.
Correct, and all of them are up. So essentially I get to appoint 3 people right now to overlook. I don't think that's an actual check on us or Bodie, to be quite frank. If I just get to appoint people, I mean, you guys have to approve them, but I'd much rather us just look at Bodie's things and myself, to be quite frank.
What you're asking for is to go to the left.
What happens, I have 2 things here, 2 ways we can change the Zoning Board of Appeals. Number 1 is just abolish it. You just get rid of the middle steps in the second and third row. If someone wants to appeal Bodie, it comes to us. If someone wants to apply for a special use or variance, it comes to us.
I move we do that.
So not the county, sorry.
No.
This is just a city stuff. Yeah, just
Just
village.
getting rid of a useless layer of government in the village.
So let me ask a quick question before we vote on it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just make sure we all understand, because currently I want to make clear right now, we are the zoning board. We have all the power of the zoning board. We don't have a separate planning commission or zoning board. If someone wants to appeal a decision by Bodie, the zoning commissioner, it goes to this appointed board who makes the final decision. We can change that to be advisory, where their decision then comes to us, or we can just get rid of that layer. As it currently stands, any variance or special use then also goes to the zoning board, who then makes a recommendation to us. They don't have power, ultimate power in that regard.
So in an instance where someone appeals it and the appointed board agrees with Bodie,
Mhm.
would they have to come to us then after that?
It's their decision on the
No, I'm
appeal.
saying if we make them just as an advisory board where they have to come to us to approve, but if they agree with Bodie, then they still have.
It's still a recommendation. If we change it to purely advisory, it would still be a recommendation saying we agree what Bodie did.
It's another committee.
It's another committee. And I should be clear, I can also just appoint board members to the zoning board of appeal. There's nothing in the statute that, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a point of it at this point. Again, my goal has been to get rid of every single board other than us. I think we can handle the issues of every single board. How many times has the zoning board of appeals met in the past few years?
Since I've worked here 3 times.
Are they all currently alive?
It's
They reduced it to 3 members. And,
It's Brett Waisner, Harry Shriver, and someone else. But these were appointed before I joined the board. Diane Rogers. Yeah, so they were appointed. It's been at least, I mean, I haven't approved anyone on that board, so their terms are most likely up at this point.
The last time Jason used it, we had to resurrect someone because they were no longer living.
Again, this is another job for us, but I think that's the job you signed up for personally. It does not happen a
But
lot,
it's a job we have to do anyway.
except for Bodie's decision. We are taking on that responsibility, but yes, we already have the middle column.
Bodie works for us.
Yeah. Any other questions about the zoning board of appeals?
So did you already make a motion technically? Okay, a second.
has there been, I mean, I think before you can make this kind of a change, there has to be, under the current zoning ordinance, there has to be published notice.
To get rid of the zoning board? It's not a zoning change.
Look at, I think it's 7, sub 7.
You guys think that.
10.2A1 is the zoning board of appeals. So here's the board of appeals.
Remember those committee meetings?
10.2.7. Regular.
The other half of the board, we were right.
No such amendment. And the districts created under this title. So we look at what a district is. I don't think the zoning board of appeal is a district.
Either way, can we pass this? And if we
Yeah.
have to advertise it, you
No,
can
what we're
advertise
saying
it.
is that we can't pass it without.
Well, here's what it says. We cannot amend a district created. The regulations imposed in the districts created on this title may be amended by ordinance with public notice. The districts, in my mind, R1, one family residential district, R2, multifamily residential district. In my mind, the zoning board of appeals is not a district, but we can always be
I'd say these
safe.
are general provisions that kind of apply to everything. That would be my only concern. But,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, we can publish notice if we want and deal with this issue next month.
I don't
if
think we have
ever-
any pressing, things.
If we just want to be safe, we have to pay $200 for notice to get it published, but
Maybe we should err on the side of caution, publish it and.
If our new website is up, I mean, under some of the new rules that have been adopted, if you have a website, you can publish by putting things on websites rather than on the paper anymore, but it just has to, the Illinois Municipal League has some guidelines out as to what you have to do to be able to legally publish notice on a website as opposed to, non-existent newspapers that really don't circulate aren't in general circulation in Shannon anyway, so.
so be safe. We'll
That's-
publish
that would be
notice.
My recommendation was that I mean. if
No,
we had a
there's not
pressing-
going to be, there's not
if
going to
we
be a
had
zoning board of
pressing matter
appeal.
That we needed to deal with, then maybe it'd be a different
I
story.
want to agree with number 4, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, the zoning board of appeals met 3 times in however many years. I don't think there's going to be a pressing issue in the next month.
That's
So,
fine, that's if they roll alive.
Yeah, now that you said that, there will be a pressing issue in the.
Yeah.
There'll be a fencing issue in the next.
all right, we'll table that and I'll publish notice.
Get a little too close to home, Bodie?
I'll already be publishing notice for other zoning changes next month, so it's not a big deal either way, but we'll table that. All right, number 9, solar for Shannon. This is the big project I'd like us to look at right now. And I wrote a brief memo for each of you. Solar. The big thing here is, and why it's important we talk about this now, is right now there's a 30% tax incentive. And normally municipalities do not get a tax incentive since we don't pay federal income tax or federal taxes. However, under IRS guidelines, we can qualify for that 30% tax incentive. That goes away at the end of next year. Our project needs to start in 2026 to qualify for that 30% incentive. So that's $112,500.
Pause. It goes away next year, or it goes away the 1st of January?
The commercial or the residential one goes away at the end of this year.
That's
Commercial
why I asked.
commercial ends next year,
Okay.
which us as a municipality qualify for under IRS guidelines. I talked to Iconic Energy and State Line Solar and got some quotes for both of the just some preliminary quotes for both the water and sewer plant and the water tower. The highest number was $375,000, which is what I use for all of my numbers. I just went with the highest number available. Both agencies agree with the other rebates we get, which is $36,000. $36,000 from ComEd we get at month 3, and $164,000 we get through the Illinois Shines program through the state over a 7-year period. Yes, $142,653 plus $23,000 in total. So the incentives, if we go with this program, essentially pay for a large portion of the project. There's a lot here, so I'm going to go bit by bit. More than half, though, we have to take out loans. So here's what it comes down to. Right now, both the water tower and the water and sewer plant are our highest energy demands. The bill of May 2025 for the water and sewer plant was $2,000 in 1 month. It costs roughly over 24 grand electricity every year. The same is true for the water tower. Our electric bills every month are over 5 grand, give or take. So each of these represents 40% of our electric usage every month. Both Iconic and State Line Solar says that again, using the higher number, $375,000 solar project would cover all of the electrical usage of either of these projects. I'm going to start referring just to the Stand Street Water project, just because we already have land near there that could support this project. It's $375,000. We get incentives in the amount of $112,500 after 1 year, $36,375 after 3 months, and a grand total of $166,000, give or take, over 7 years. If you go to and each of you have this in your packet too, you don't have to follow along online. Here's what it comes down to savings-wise for the village. This is what we all care about. For 14 months, while the electrical solar power comes online, it comes on gradually over a 12-month period, we'd essentially be paying both for a loan and our normal electric bill. You add those up, it's going to cost $44,000 up front over 14 months to pay for this solar project. After that 14 months, if we then applied for a new loan, I'm thinking of a line of credit to hold us over for 14 months. A line of credit, you only make interest saving payments. You don't pay the principal. So we apply for a loan of credit for $375,000. We have that line of credit we're only making interest payments on and our normal electric bill. That comes out to $44,000 over 14 months. After that 14 months, we then have $112,500 from the tax credit, $36,000 from ComEd, and $23,000 in the quarterly payments from Illinois. So at that point, we then apply $172,000 to a new loan. And at month 14, we're taking out $200 grand over a 25-year period. From that point on, we are saving money every single month. We're saving $100 on electric every single month from month 14 until the end of the project 25 years later. However, we also get another $142,000 in incentives over 6 years. So in total, we're saving $100 a month, and we receive $142,000 in extra incentives over 6 years. If you take out the $44,000 we pay up front, the ultimate benefit to the village is $100,000 and $100 per month of savings. If you would map that out, let's say if you had some time.
Who's solar panels are they?
Ours. And I'm going to get to the other option here in a second. Here's what it looks like mapped out. On month 1, here's our loan payment. Here's our electric payment. This electric payment is our average over each 12 months. Obviously, it is different month to month, but our average is $1,700 per month. Our loan payment during the line of credit would be $1,400. So our total outflow every month is $3,200 as opposed to the $1,700 on average we pay now. So for the first 14 months, the village is losing, compared to what we're paying now, $1,400 per month. You talk about upfront costs as well, loan origination fees. There are also some Illinois Shines bond money, I guess you would call, all that comes out to around $44,000 upfront over 14 months. We would have to pay additional. So this is cost that would come out of our general fund. This is money we are paying for this project. During those first 14 months, we are receiving the solar rebates, which every 3 months is $6,000. The way I have this mapped is that on month 14, after we have gotten every single rebate up until that point, 30% credit, the quarterly rebates for 1 year, and the ComEd, we then restructure the loan, apply all of those rebates to the loan. So the new loan over 25 years is $200,000, give or take. And we are now, our solar panels are completely online. The solar panels will cover all the electricity costs and about 30% of the taxes and fees. So our new electric payment goes from $1,700 on average to $542 on average. And our new loan is $1,141. So in total, we are saving $100 per month starting on month 14. So very small amount, minimally per year of $12,000. However, for the next 7 or 6 years or so, we are receiving a rebate every 3 months of $6,000. That comes out to $142,000 plus the monthly savings of $100. The big thing to note too, so again, just forever, we're saving $100 a month. For the first 6 years, we're making an additional $142,000 in incentives. After 25 years, after we're all far gone from this place, those solar panels are likely still to exist after the loan ends. Solar panels on average in the Midwest last for roughly 30 years. So for 5 years, there's no loan payment, and the electrical payment is essentially just that $542. There's a lot here. I just like to, so that is, if you go to our electric bill, which I have here, I can get it out. So $1,700, $1,100 or so of that is electric. The rest is taxes and delivery, which we'd still have because we'd still be pulling some electric at night. And even though the electrical output we make during the day covers our electric usage at night, because they're delivering to us, we have taxes and fees on that. So those would be reduced by 30%. Our entire electrical output would be completely paid for by the solar panels. The big things to note here, this does not account for inflation. This does not account for the reality that electrical costs are going to go up much higher than inflation. This also does not account for the fact that solar panels degrade 0.5% per year. So at year 25, they have the electrical output of 87.5% as they did on year 1. Iconic guarantees they're at 85% usage at year 25. I figured that's all a wash. I just want to look at the hard numbers. If you look at that, electrical usage is definitely going up. The price of electric is going up. The price inflation is going up. Things of that nature. The big thing here is without the 30% tax incentive that goes away next year, there's no reason for Shannon to ever go solar. It does not make sense. We need the 30% tax incentive. The other thing to note is there is another option, which we'd have to move equally as quick on, which I note at the end, which is a power purchasing agreement. This is where Shannon has no upfront costs. We don't own the solar panels. We do nothing with the solar panels. We enter into an agreement where another business or corporation owns the solar panels, pays all the upfront costs, and we pay for them. In total, they get all the credits.
They get the carbon credits.
They get everything. I mean, we have $0 up. We get there's no cost to the village to enter into this agreement. It's just that they get all the incentives, and we still have to pay them for the solar panels. However, it comes out to about a 15 to 20% reduction.
Is there any cost associated with maintenance or repair or anything like that?
They are, oh geez, what's the word? They are warranted. Thank you. They are warranted for 25 years, the actual solar panels themselves. Some important bit of them is warranted for 15 years. So, like I said, the other option is the purchase powering agreements. Those are also going to be not make sense for the village after next year as well because of the 30% tax incentive going away. I go through all this in much more detail and much clearer notes in my memo to the board that goes over exactly what is. So the energy cost, 63% of our bill comes from energy, 37% comes from delivery and taxes. And that 63% will be entirely eliminated. The 37% will be reduced on average about 30%. Iconic and Solar quoted me that our total electric bill can go down up to 69% is what we would ultimately see.
On
Do
one.
you have to insure these? Like say there was a tornado that comes through and rips them all down, I mean, do you,
If you own them, you gotta insure them.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's something else to think
Yeah.
about too, how much insurance. I mean,
No,
I don't know what they cost for insurance.
I agree. I did not ask. I assume we do. I mean, I'm assuming that's not included in our warranty. I did not ask. The big thing here is for either of these projects, we have to put out bids, and included in these bids, we could back out at any point. But if we don't try to get bids now, it'll never make sense to go solar. State Line Solar has worked with both Ogle County and Stevenson County and the city of Freeport. A lot of their things have gone solar. Ogle County has solar on their jail now. Stevenson County is going solar on their jail now, and their water plant in Freeport has gone solar because of these incentives. Again, if we don't do it now, it'll never make sense to go solar for Shannon at this
What was
point.
the downside of having someone else on?
Instead of seeing a 65% reduction in our bill, we'll only have 15 to 20%. And it should note that is a max amount. There have been, if we do not get a big enough project, I've heard of farms in the area who are actually under. They are paying more for their leased solar than they're getting a benefit from. So we have to make sure that whoever does the PPA, which we'll do actually for a PPA, we wouldn't have to do bids.
When you said about the $1,700, that's just the sewer plant. That's
Correct.
not both.
Correct. That is just the sewer plant. So I mapped out the month-to-month only using the sewer plant. The 1,782 is just an average over 12 months.
No, I'm just saying that doesn't cover both. So everybody realizes that.
Correct.
That's not all the electric expense in the city.
Correct. So ultimately what we could do or include in the bids is that, again, we're under no obligations. If we do receive bids, it doesn't cost anything to call for bids. If we say we want a solar project at the sewer plant, but we want a purchase power agreement over at the water tower, say we want to save 15% instead of nothing, or we just want to focus on one, or we don't want to do either. Ultimately, I think when I was talking to both of these, I asked, what is the argument against it? I could not find, I mean, if you're telling me that I'm going to make $100,000 and save $100 per month, I was asking, what is the downside? The upfront costs, which is
owning them in the end.
well, owning them in the end is a huge boon to us if it's not costing anything.
Not really. At the end of 5 years, you own a rock no one wants.
What do you mean after 5 years? After 25 years?
After the 25 years, you have your free 5 years. You have a solar farm that's obsolete, and you have to pay to get rid of it.
I think the
That'll
hope.
chew up $100,000 rather quickly.
Well, 25 years from now.
Bingo. I'm just throwing it out there. I want everybody to realize.
Well, I'm
this.
saying 2,500,000 might be.
I mean, I understand the solar. It's a great thing on a house.
But the devil's advocate to that is that it's not like day one of year 31, they're automatically obsolete and non-functional. There is a very high likelihood that they would still give a significant output after year 30 years.
And no cost to the village. And actually it's year
I would be
25, not
amazed if
30.
We're net zero on expense between now and 30 years.
If the panels go bad, you still have the framework there. It's not, replace the panels, not the entire cheaper.
Are you talking about after year 25, after the
Yeah.
warranty ends?
Yeah.
After the loan ends?
It saves a lot of money there.
How do you
Cody, how do you mow under?
buy a goat?
That's what I was.
Let me,
You put gravel down under?
So stupid question. When if you buy into the program,
They go in and they spray
Right,
the grass.
yep.
if you buy into the program, is the solar on
Under
your
where they're
property
putting
or
theirs
on
right now.
someone else's and you just bought into it?
no, if we do a purchase power agreement, they have to be on our, I mean, we have to supply the land for it.
I didn't know if you were purchasing part of it on someone else's land, part of a bigger farm.
Yeah.
Project for Freeport.
No.
Yeah, so gravel, it's on Walnut Road, right by like across from the nursing home.
They fence it off and then they use razor wire on top to keep people out.
There's sewer plants surrounded by them now. Down in Freeport.
Yeah, neither one's going to see.
Mount Morris, I think, has one too, and they're new.
They've got a whole
water
farm to
treatment
the
plant.
north end of Mount Morris that does use.
And I want to make clear, I'm not asking for the village to approve a $375,000 project today at all. Absolutely not asking for that. I'm asking whether it's worth getting bids. And what Freeport did or Stevens County, when I was talking to State Line Solar, is you just put on the bids. The village reserves the right not to move forward with the project whatsoever. The big thing is if we don't put out bids now for construction to start next year, we're not going solar.
My question would be, what would be, if we're going to move in that direction, what would be the reasoning for not doing both other than the upfront cost?
I agree with you.
Why would we do one and not the other? That's what I'm asking is.
But I agree completely.
Well, I can come up with one reason. Well, one's surrounded by houses, the other's on the street.
And I don't really want to pull up my email right now, just in case there's stuff in there, but.
The sewer plant has a farm behind it. The water tower has houses on two sides of it. Do they want to look at a bunch of solar panels? That would be a big question there.
If it wants to work anyway.
I kind of like the way they look.
I also agree with you.
But then again,
So again, they didn't know the exact, I didn't give them, this is just an idea. They didn't understand that we own the property, this is our strip of land we own past the burn pile, correct, Bodie? So this is the idea they gave. I tried to make it clear that we own this strip of land, not just this. They understand, but this is what Iconic sent to me, their idea here. And the water tower is a bit dicier. We would need to get a piece of land. So they
well, there is a big piece of land that's for now.
so this is what Iconic gave me. State Line Solar actually used what's it's just the
You didn't know it was a buy one, get one free one?
Wow.
I'm not sure I
Hell of a
see
deal.
Yeah, that's an old image.
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Iconic also, they didn't send me these, but while we were on the on Zoom, they showed me their layout. They used the piece of land that is zoned light industry now. Did we get an answer whether that's actually supposed to be light industry or was it supposed to revert back to residential?
It appears as though it was actually spot zoned as light
Oh, I'm sure it
industrial
was.
as opposed
It was a
to
blacksmith shop.
now, so that's never been rezoned, I don't think,
Okay.
to,
I know there's a question about that, but
that might be one to take on to
Yeah.
rezone, just to.
and if
Isn't there a piece of property across the street from, no, I'm thinking, this, open piece of property that's for sale, I think it's residential. Or did that sell?
at where?
West of the water tower?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's old.
Dan's.
Right there. You got a
Really?
solar farm right next to your place.
They sold that.
I didn't know it's over there.
So I guess the devil's advocate position about why we don't do the water tower is we either have to buy the piece of property behind it or the piece of property to the west of it, which is another upfront cost. I'd assume at least 10 grand to purchase, half an acre or a lot, whatever it's required.
Good chunk on the north of the tower there that we own.
Yeah, there's some, and again, these are just preliminary bids. For the bid process, we would lay out exactly what is Shannon's property and what's available and make clear for,
We wouldn't have enough property there
where does it end? It ends right here, correct, Perry?
All that stuff.
Yeah, with the north side, though, that goes way.
He's talking on the other side of the building.
But-
Yeah,
Out towards well 5.
and the piece of property I'm talking about is directly
Yeah,
across
right
from
there.
that.
All that, the north of drive.
Yeah, that's a big. chunk.
This is right here?
Yeah, that's the building.
That's all part of.
Not
it.
that building.
Oh, well, that is exactly where,
Yeah, we go down further.
yeah, that's exactly where State Line Solar put theirs, and it only takes up half of this. So actually, then we have the land. I didn't know we owned this. I thought this was the light industry. So in that,
Property for sale that I was talking about is directly across the street from that. If you turn the view.
yes,
So
right here, look.
No, that's Jason's old.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
that's
Jason's old
Yeah,
line.
there's a lot of ground there.
Well, in that event, then we do have the property there, and actually that might even be more feasible than the sewer because they have to run lines across.
Tower probably uses more, don't it?
They are about the exact same.
No.
There's a little variance here and there, but they're about the exact same.
Yeah, I mean, if we have the property there, I don't know why we wouldn't do, if we're going to do one, I'm not saying we're going to do either, but if we're going to do one, I don't know why we wouldn't do the other if we're going to have.
And we would get the same rebates, so it'd be compounding. We'd save $200 a month, and we get $200,000 in additional incentives above what we put into the loan.
And would be 88,000 upfront instead of 44,000 upfront.
Correct. Which we just put 100 in a CD, and this
Yeah.
project wouldn't be going online until next year. So just to make that clear.
So
I mean,
to
the
play devil's
payments.
advocate.
Yep.
Because everybody's about appearance, and are people gonna, I mean, there'll be a bunch of hurrying because.
I wouldn't want one next to my house, but
I gotta tell you, I think they look great. I'm with you.
It wouldn't mind, I
I'm,
mean, I live there
I have
one
no
bothering
opinion
me,
one way or the
but I
other,
can't
I'm
speak
just
for
saying,
everybody.
Oh,
I
last
don't know how the court of
Most
public
people-
opinion
I don't
can
know.
be.
I know the person that lives next to the water tower would be pretty mad.
I mean, you already live next to a water tower.
I mean, no, they live next to a grass lot.
Last year, the village took up whether ground mounted solar panels is something we wanted to allow, and we decided yes. So that means any person in town can apply. I mean, they can
There's
get
a
solar
difference-
panel.
But there's still a difference between a residential solar panel and a solar farm next to your house.
I agree. I don't disagree,
I don't know,
but
have you seen some of, I mean,
Well, let's be real. Yeah.
some of the solar that's going on to people's, I mean, it takes up their entire roof, or it's, 3 banks of panels in their backyard or their side yard. I mean, I understand this is going to be larger than a residential, but I mean, we're not talking like the farm that went up south of Orangeville there.
It's not a community solar
it's not
project.
like 50 acres of solar panels.
it's not a community solar project.
Yeah, I
No.
mean,
As far as you can see.
yeah, I mean, it's 5 banks of solar panels. I mean, it's not.
I know people are very, on both sides, very opinionated about how the appearance and what, but
If it's crowded-
I don't always like opening my electric bill and seeing what the cost is either, so I mean.
If it's crowded closer to the tower, there's still plenty of grass area there.
Yeah, and again, that they misunderstood. This is iconic. State Line Solar did where we actually own the property. Both fit, and there'll actually be more than enough room left over that we'd still own.
If you go further north, that tower shades a big portion.
They actually, State Line Solar did an analysis about the shading of that water tower, and it wasn't a problem. No. So they did do. Unfortunately, they did not send me the
It's right
document.
there, not next to the water tower.
No. This is iconic. This is iconic. State Line Solar did it behind, and they saw no issue with that. They still had 103% energy output.
Are we just talking about getting bids?
I'm asking- well,
From there, or?
That is what I'm asking for. Ultimately, if let's just take my numbers at face value. These are numbers I work with Iconic and State Line Solar. They both see $100,000 give or take in additional rebates take out our upfront costs. They see the savings at $100 per month and $100,000 in extra rebates. If you take those numbers at face value, are we interested in putting 2 large solar projects in Shannon or 1? Or if we are interested in that but want 0 upfront costs, do you want to do a purchase power?
Speaking of solar.
So, yeah, below. So I guess I don't need an approval that we're going to go fully solar today. I need a vote whether we want to get bids
I make a motion that we get bids. We can't make a decision unless we know. what
with the
we're
caveat that the village is going to reserve the right not to pursue either of these projects.
Second.
Okay, Minders,
No,
Reuter,
No,
Manthe,
Yes.
Shevitz,
Yes,
Miller,
Yep.
Allen.
Yes.
All right, I'll get the wording written up. We'll get bids and they'll be sealed bids. We'll get those. For both projects, either or.
Can you get bids for the owner of the other part where they
The
own it?
PPA,
Yeah.
I can include that we want bids for both projects and PPAs.
And the reason I say that this is where my note came from. It's a lot of what if for $100,000.
I'll tell you what, $100,000.
At the end is what I'm saying.
But it's not
And
the
that's
only-
actually all up front. It should be no, we're not getting 100,000 over 25 years. It'd be $100,000 in the first
I would
six.
say
No, I
15 years ago, I would be a lot more leery, but there is a lot more.
I know there's a lot out there, but I can't tell you what's gonna happen in 25 years. I don't wanna have to spend $100,000 or $200,000 to get rid of the damn thing. Or replace them, or then they're revenue negative to me. And $100,000 sure don't last very long.
That logic is the same logic for anything that you're going to do, new structures, new buildings, whatever you're going to do.
No.
I mean, you don't know what's gonna.
Here's why I say that. Our infrastructure that we put in the ground is lasts way longer than 25 years.
Well, and you don't know that this doesn't.
Right.
It's insured for 25, our loans for
That's what I'm
25.
saying is that you're just,
I mean,
because they warranty it for 25 years. That doesn't just mean on day one of year 26, the whole thing goes to hell. Like,
No. I understand that.
You know,
What I'm saying is it is a lot of risk for $100,000.
And we haven't, all we're doing right now is,
Getting bids.
That's just where I'm at. If it's proved otherwise, that's fine.
And obviously, I was talking to two companies on my own. There were questions. This is why 7, 9, however many heads up here is better than one. I didn't ask about insurance. I just thought, well, warranty covers it. If the insurance is $100 a month, then we are getting nothing every month, but we end up with $100,000 incentive. So that's a question that needs to be asked. That'll be, I mean, I can ask that, but I'll ask for bids for both projects, including the PPA that we're interested in seeing that, though. I should note that like I said, there's a farm right outside of Shannon that entered into a PPA that is now negative. They are paying for solar and not seeing any reduction in their energy bill. The projects need to be built.
They wouldn't be entering into a contract that says this is the X, Y, and Z of the deal.
I didn't ask for the specifics because I didn't. But
If you've ever seen those things.
Yeah, they said
I've never, ever advised anybody to ever enter into one of those, so.
it's, again, the max benefit, is 15 to 20% off your energy bill. It could be much lower, but that's what they say, what you can expect.
Yes, up to 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, we're just getting bids, no solar project. We didn't commit to spending $375,000 or $750,000 tonight, whatever it is. We'll get bids and we'll open them. I guess I was looking toward February or March to get the bids finalized because they are all busy right now doing residential with the 30% tax incentive going away at the end of the year. So I'm looking at the start of next year is when we would open bids. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, they don't have to have it completed for this to all work.
They need to start in 2026 is what I was told. Correct, Mike?
If I can jump in here, it's a great conversation. Yeah, you gotta get going. If you're gonna do it, you gotta get going. Because the equipment, because everybody's jumping on board, it can move fast. Because you wanna get it done before the rebates are done. And the supplies and the labor, the installers are gonna be very busy. So that's something, you have to have a little urgency to it. So that's one thing. I didn't mean to come in, I was just next door, and I'm like, you know what? First Tuesday, I'm gonna stop by and tell things.
Well, we were right in the middle of what we talked about. So I also talked to Mike about this briefly, and he set me up with State Line Solar. So I discussed this with him briefly as well. So, all right, we'll get bids. Last thing is we have a lot of ordinances to sign. So
What were we gonna ask Mike? It's something we were gonna ask you, but what was it?
you wanted to, this is
commercial electricity.
yes, and this is where if a business or churches want to get on our aggregation, it has to be on 15,000 kilowatts or less per year.
Right.
Correct.
Most small churches can get on it. But if not, we'll look at it and see if we can get a better rate from ComEd.
That is the question. Can we aggregate industrial electricity or industry or commercial electricity?
It's only 15,000 or less, that's the state.
No, for residential, I'm saying it wouldn't be part of the residential program, it would be a commercial program.
Yeah, we get this all the time for like Roger over there is one of our customers,
Okay.
and as an example.
But you don't do it as a municipality, you do it as an individual.
Right.
Okay.
Each individual business, we look at, if they have good load factors, can beat the ComEd rate, sometimes people can't.
Okay.
But we're willing to look at it, it doesn't cost anybody to look
I understand.
through us, and we appreciate it. The only other, to fight one more minute with it, on the power purchase agreement, sometimes that cost is higher. They compare it to what the ComEd rate is, but they don't compare it to what the rate we got.
Right.
They're not from third-party supplier. So that's something to watch. And I also mentioned, Ryan, when you get these things, if you want to review, I look at it for a lot of customers in that. Not that I'm throwing a wrench into it, but I'm learning too. And I'm willing to look at it and force them is just looking at it.
They're busy right now because after the 30% incentive goes away, no municipality is going to go solar anymore. Not until they become cheaper, I suppose. So,
I'm sorry.
no, thank you. It was perfect timing. Thanks for your input. We have a lot of ordinances that we need to pass again, and then we're going to an executive session. I hope after that I'll be asking for, just to let the public know where we're going now. We're just going to be signing ordinance changes from the last month. So what do you got first, Kip?
First one is number 439, implementing a municipal grocers retail occupation tax. This is one that essentially replaces the state sales tax on groceries that expires at the end of the year. So this has to be passed and filed with a portal that currently doesn't work before October 1st.
And Perry, you're good to go whenever too.
I guess
We need a motion for
Motion.
our 1%. Yeah, we need to figure out, I don't know why we have to pass.
well, I mean, you can say we want to change it, and I guess you have to actually adopt it when it's presented.
Because right now we're voting on it for you to write it and then we vote again, which doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, just tell me to draft the ordinance. You got to actually pass the ordinance. So
All right, 1% sales tax on groceries.
I move we pass the 1%.
Ordinance 439.
Get that.
You can just do the ordinance number for these. Ordinance 439. Yeah. So ordinance 439, we have a first, we have a second. Roll call.
Who's the first?
Me,
Kyle.
I remembered this thing.
Second was Mampy.
Okay, Allen?
Yeah.
Miller?
Yep.
Shevitz? Yes. Sanders?
Yes.
Reuter?
Yeah.
Mampy?
Okay.
next is 440, amending Title III, Chapter 1, Section 5A4, which is the 6-foot-high fence requirement around an outside retail sales and seating area at a establishment that serves liquor by the drink.
We're getting rid of the 6-foot requirement for
Yeah.
someone with a liquor license to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
apply. Again, it's not automatically granted, just to apply for outdoor.
It just says you don't have to have a 6-foot fence.
What
Correct.
number is that one?
440.
I move we pass ordinance 440.
A second.
Any opposed? How about we start doing that? Any opposed?
None? Okay, good.
And then I need 2 of these back, so. Of each one of them.
You know, we even model, I think we use the bathroom back there. No, I think we do.
done.
You want me to look at Hanover or?
You know why there is one back
You
there?
will need to sign them
There's
at
no
the
one
end.
back there.
You can sign them now if you want, but we're gonna pass another ordinance, so they're gonna
Okay.
keep coming. So I'll just have you sign all of these at the end.
Sounds good.
You'll be signing a total of 32 times by the time you're all done.
Are you serious?
I'll be the
Nope, I'm absolutely serious.
I move we all get signature stamps.
Don't get an auto pen now.
And you know, I'm perfectly fine with bringing one, but I'm assuming if the copiers to remember what it is, it would take far longer to try to make copies of them after you sign them than it would be just to do it on my copy machine, which is actually.
At your service.
At this particular point, the big table made more sense.
All right, so
Number-
441.
That's the one that changes the compensation of village trustees to $1,000 per year and $50 per meeting.
This was 5-1, just to recall. Miller voted no. So do I have a first for this?
Yeah.
Second?
Yeah.
All right, we should do a roll call on this one just because there was a no on this. So roll call for ordinance number 441.
Manthe,
Yes.
Reuter,
Yes.
Minders,
Yes.
Shevitz,
Yeah.
Miller, Allen.
Yes.
Sorry.
Just
I'm
remember,
part of a headache in here.
that's number 441, Steve. Just make sure.
So when you get 441, sign the nays.
This is why I sang in blue.
I want to go back and see how many ordinances were passed last year and the year before
Oh,
that.
God. Nowhere near this amount.
How many signatures did you say we're doing today?
You'll be doing 32, actually. Cole be doing 64, so she has to sign 2 different things.
Right, yeah. I should be passing these down.
Yep.
Oh,
This
sorry,
is
I'm just sitting on them.
$439.
Okay.
Keep up.
Well, we got 8 million to go.
There's 8 of them.
I'm
gonna
put the line over
I'm gonna put your signatures over here because you can do that when we're in executive session,
You guys.
finalizing it all out.
Now she's the new.
There you go. Hey.
Sorry, I
Why
signed
am I the
both
one
these,
still
this
passing
one
the
and this.
papers?
This and this.
Yep, you have to sign each one
Yeah,
twice.
she has to take notes. I
There's this.
Yeah, I say, I stand through the whole meeting.
Yeah, so they're saying we all
Number
have 32. you have
442
64.
removes the license fee for keeping of chickens.
Very important.
I agree with that.
Exactly.
This is 442. All right, do I have a first? Removing a
Yes.
second for getting rid of the chicken fee. Second,
Chicken feed or chicken feed?
chicken fee. I forget if there were any no's on this originally, so
More chickens, but no feed.
we can do a roll.
Anybody opposed?
No,
No.
sorry.
Okay.
This was no opposed for removing the $10 chicken fee.
If I had a dog, I would probably mess with chickens. Chickens and water.
Yeah, all of these have been signed by everybody else.
I believe
Very
so.
essential. I love KFC. No, I'm-
You know what?
Do something.
Could we pass an order? Can we pass an order to get rid of Facebook and get KFC?
Yes.
I'm a vegetarian.
You can have mashed
They
potatoes.
have great coleslaw there.
Guys, they have nice coleslaw and good mashed potatoes.
I'll have this one go. Never mind.
What's that?
It's 32 in total.
He's still-
64 for Nicole.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're not even close yet. 443 repeals in its entirety Title 3, Chapter 2, any regulation of mechanical and electronic amusement devices.
And somebody other
I
than
so
Kyle.
moved.
So 443, first by Reuter. Do I have a second? Second by Minders. Any opposed? I believe this was a 6-0 last month.
No.
None opposed.
Let him stack up.
You can go through one notebook your first night.
I know.
I don't know why I keep closing my pen every time. I'm gonna reopen it. It's like a nervous-
Habit.
I'm perfect.
None for you, Glenn Coco.
Right.
I told Kyle every time I come to a meeting, I end up
Nobody
with
says that.
another
Crap,
thing in front
every
of me.
time.
I don't know how it happens.
None for you, Glenn Coco.
It's accumulating in front of me.
That's your pile.
Either, or like his Sharpie that he brings in front of him.
Just
It
start,
has her name on it, so
Hey,
how
Miles,
does that work?
your deputy clerk, your
Okay.
clerk pro tem.
That's from.
444
Do I have to
is
sign
to
that?
amend Title 4, Chapter 5 to change all the RV trailer, tractors, and tents regulations.
So this was the RV
I was thinking-
permit requirements and tent limitations.
What number is that?
444.
444. Do I have a first?
What's it?
This is the tents and RV regulation.
I'll first. MISI.
You're done with that one, I think.
Do I have a second for the tent and RV changes?
That's mine, yours.
This was 6-0 last month. Any opposed now?
That's you, right? Here, those can go on.
This one
Go on all of
got
them.
separated out. Somehow these all got separated out.
Yeah, you need to go around still.
No, that one needs you. So does this one.
I'm assuming the next one's 445.
Yes,
So
I have them in order, but we're getting them mixed up
I'll show
here,
you
so.
what kind of stuff it is. Literally a whole wall.
I never noticed it before until I went to wash my hands and it just, I was like, I didn't turn that one on.
That was all the hot water, you missed it.
Yeah, I was like, what is
And
that?
these are yours.
And some of these are on fall under, like I say, you have to do that certification. So there's two, so you have 2 signatures on every one, Nicole.
Yay. I'm like throwing me into the deep end.
445 is repealing Title 7, Chapter 2, Section 1B regarding the reservation for use of picnic shelters.
This was disallowing it. You can no longer reserve the picnic shelter.
First.
Second.
I don't believe there's any opposed to this last month. I believe it's 6-0. Is that correct? Did you vote against this, Steve?
Technically, we're missing Julia, but I don't think she was opposed before, but.
I'll wait for her to get back while I'm signing these. I believe it was 6-0. Well, I know Talia didn't vote no. I just forgot about Steve. Any opposed out of U5 for this one? We'll revisit Talia for 445 when she comes back in.
We've done a lot of ordinances. Now I really think we have.
You should see the board out there. Denise doesn't take them down after 10 days like you can. So the whole board is just ordinances.
Fall down or something.
We
Another
found
pile
stuff
for you.
with those hangers, right?
Hope so.
Number 446 is the Emergency Service and Disaster Agency, essentially making the chief of police coordinator.
Trimming down the ordinance makes the chief the
Oh,
This is what-
he's,
coordinator.
yeah. It had a name, but I don't remember what it was.
So for 446, do I have a first?
Yes.
Do I have a second? Any opposed for 446? This is the disaster agency making the chief the head of it. None opposed. Talia, 445, you're out. That is the changes to the RV and tents. Any opposition?
The first one,
We're good.
No. All right. So 445 was 6-0 as well.
Yeah.
You have one of
Thank-
your cards. You have one of your cards.
I'll go grab one.
Thank you very much.
I think there's only one more left.
One more to go.
We're getting there.
That would be 447, amending Title 6, Chapter 8, Section 3A to provide that a like or similar permit from another jurisdiction for a golf cart or UTV is okay if it's a non-resident visiting the village.
Do I have a first?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Yep.
Any opposed? None opposed.
Keep in mind, we started at 6 instead of 7.
Yes.
My goal is from this point on to not have 3 to 4 hour meetings.
You say that.
Well,
It's a goal.
You wanna
it's
do
a-
a what?
Tonight is a vast improvement from the first couple.
yes, it is.
So far.
We're not done yet.
No, no, no.
Hey, you should have had school meeting for that. 14 minutes.
That's called just rubber stamping stuff.
Yeah.
We like discussion and debate down here.
Yeah. 14 minutes. We was out.
We have our fall rules meeting next Monday. That's always like 4 hours long.
We should do this. We should get rid of this.
Everyone wants to change every rule and rewrite the rule book.
Here's an idea. How about we just adopt the triple?
You do, but you're not gonna put in the normal
Well,
minute.
I
meeting
changed.
minutes. It's gonna have its own
Not every
minutes
rule is up for debate.
How am I supposed to sign
To me
these?
by Wednesday. And it has to be on
because
the
the,
agenda.
the minutes you'll have to write
Thank you
for this are
very
very, very short.
Thank you. Have
Okay.
a good night.
And you can start signing those now because we're done with passing. So if you want to start your 64, go on right ahead.
Are we done passing now?
I believe we are.
We have them all mixed up in here.
National rule.
We adopted everything that we do.
There's a missing 445. I don't know where that one.
You know what I'm saying.
In the closed session, I'm gonna.
I was gonna have you just stick in here just for a minute for it.
Who the hell do you think you're?
So 2 signatures on each one of these.
Right. You should have one under mine and then, yep.
Oh, you think
Okay.
No, I
One
wasn't
done.
going anywhere. I was just gonna shut the door. No, I was just gonna shut the door.
32 more to go.
Do we have to motion to go in?
We will once Kyle gets back.
Are we replenishing his drink?
And we'll close
So
the
we
door.
have 1, 2, 3 of this one. There's 3 of those somewhere else. There's one of these
How
somewhere
many of
else.
those do you drink a day?
Couple.
And we have all
Probably
of
Number
these.
4 for the day.
I need one of those helmets with the
So
straws.
there's one of
I
these
keep hitting my
missing
head
and
on
there's
things.
3
Do I
of
have to
those
put like
missing.
anything after my name?
No.
Okay.
That's kind of the same thing.
Probably you technically should write pro tempore, but we won't
I
worry
was just saying,
about
I thought about the
Yeah.
camelback thing. That would be.
Get him a camelback. Then all he has to do is sit back and it squirts it into his mouth.
And then I have to have 2 of each of those back, so.
Yeah, we'll make sure to get those to you
I just-
while
yeah,
she's signing
you go to
executive session.
Casey's, hey, can we just get
But see, that's all I don't like it.
I have 1 445
The only
here.
place I like
That's
fountain
kind of out
hops
of
is-
order. And then 4. These are the 4 447s.
My first choice is King.
That-
Except there's no-
Marcy's that one sitting in front of you?
My second
Oh, no,
choice
this is not.
Okay.
almost pump.
I'll drink exclusively out of cans.
Don't do it.
Okay, so
Second
here's,
choice,
no,
I
no,
refuse
there's
to drink.
more.
I easily startled.
Here's 2 of 445.
Okay.
You need any of these sealed?
Well, see,
I don't really.
Okay.
How long are we gonna be? Should I?
10 minutes. I mean, that's what I expect.
Okay,
I will maybe have you do that with the
I can hold it.
the sales tax one, even though it's got to be filed.
Stan Steinis. Judge Steinis. And he would bring in 3 2-liter
I know.
bottles of Mountain Dew.
A reflex now, I like
And he would walk out every
I
night
just
with
used
3
to it.
empty bottles, 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew a day.
He liked this Mountain Dew.
What's that?
We had a judge in Whiteside County, his name was Stan Steinis. Every morning when he would come in, I'd say, "Morning, Your Honor, I see you have your liquid for the day." He would have 3 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew. And at night, when he would leave, he would take 3 empty bottles of 2-liter Mountain Dew out with him
Good.
every
God.
day.
Calmest fellow you'd ever want to meet too.
And-
So it's very- and he was not the least bit. I mean,
Not
always
only was
very
he calm,
Yeah.
but he was skinny as a rail.
Yep.
Third.
Wasn't like.
On the channel.
Those are your copies then.
I thought
So
Not
I
bad.
get two and he gets two.
get
Correct.
Colored
I've
chocolates.
never seen him bring a luncheon with him, so.
All right, I think she has more signing to do, but I think we're good. So I would like to go into executive session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120-2C11. Can I get a first and a second for that?
If you tell me what that is.
Regarding potential or ongoing lawsuits.
I agree.
I make a motion.
Any opposed to go into executive session? No opposed. We'll mute on. All right, Chief, you want to go ahead and press that red button as well?
Okay, who was the first, who was the second?
First, second was
Kyle.
Kyle, none opposed. All right, left executive session at 8:51 PM, no action taken. 2 hours and 50 minutes. That's our shortest meeting by a long shot. About an hour and 15 minutes shorter than normal.
Thank you.
Because we had an hour and a half special meeting, but let's not talk about that. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, guys.